by shedding 6 times. What is going on, horror gang? How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome to another edition of Slasher Sunday here on the channel. As you know, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host, Marcus. Ghost from Mars. I shot him 6 times. Whatever you want to call me, as long as it's not derogatory, it's fine with me. How is everybody in the chat doing tonight? I hope everybody's been safe today. I know a lot of places got a lot of rain, been flooded out, which is why this stream is a little about 2 hours late. Didn't want to sit there and go battle with the rain because I know how that can cause lagging issues, as well as you never know if you might have a power outage. And the last thing I want to do is to be in the middle of a great conversation with you guys, and then next thing you know, whoop, the lights go out. So, with that being said, once again, this is another edition of Slasher Sunday. I'm your host, Marcus, and I have my special guest with me, Bob Hunt, who is also a moderator on the channel. Bob, what is going on with you tonight, buddy? How you doing?
Well, other than technical difficulties due to this bad weather, I'm doing wonderful.
I know that's right, man. Yeah, that was crazy there for a second. You know what I mean? But hey, we got that figured out for sure. You know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing about technology is a way you can finagle around things a little bit, even with bad weather. Let's just hope that it doesn't worsen up enough to where it starts messing this up.
Yeah, because once if this phone goes, that's the last option we had. Now I have to try just doing audio.
I know that's right. I know that's right, man. Well, as you know, Bob, I already hit you with the list. We didn't. I ain't put no topics. We're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna free fall it. You know what I mean? Scream
Yep.
6, Halloween ends. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk some topics. I did say I mentioned it to you in the I did mention it to you in the backstage or whatever about I wanted to talk about Dr. Mathis because I want people to know that before I started this channel or whatever, I'll be honest with you, like I kept up on certain news, but I didn't like really study it the way I do now. Like, you know what I mean? In terms of like reading articles heavy, etc. Like now that I do this, YouTube channel and stuff like that, like now I'm like trying to find I'm catching up. You know what I mean? So bear with me if there's certain pieces that I might miss or what have you. I'm still catching up, but definitely want to talk
Yep.
about Dr. We're gonna start with Halloween ends tonight because I definitely want to talk about Dr. Mathis because that character is a little bit interesting to me. But before we dive into it, let's hit the comment section and say what's up to everybody.
Yep.
Conrad, what's going on, buddy? Hey, want to announce too that Conrad is also a moderator now on the channel. Congrats, Conrad. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you,
Good
man.
job. Great job, Conrad.
Val, what's going on, Val? How you doing tonight?
Long time no talk, Val.
Tina Forbes, what's going on? How you doing tonight? I want to say mention that Tina is a new subscriber to the channel. She just subscribed about I want to say 2 or 3 days ago. She had commented on my Samantha Carpenter theory video for Scream, and she had stated that she really loves the content that I put out. So greatly appreciate you, Tina, and glad to see that you're here on the stream tonight. Welcome, very welcome to have you.
Welcome, Tina.
Val, listen, I gotta share this. I'm glad to see Marcus finally got some mods. Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely, Val, for sure. Definitely need those mods. I'm not gonna lie. For a second there, I remember watching Craven's one of Craven's streams, and I seen the wrench and all that. I'm like, how the hell does he get these guys to be their moderators? So I just looked it up on YouTube. I'm like, how do you set somebody to be your moderator? And it was like a 2 minute video. I'm just like, oh, that was it. Like that was smooth. That was easy. All right, whoop, let me do that real quick. Hey Bob, hey Necessary, hey Carrie. You know what I mean? You guys want to be moderators? Hey, hey Conrad. You know what I mean? What's
Yeah.
going on? I mean, my friend Sierra as well. She's not on. I don't think she's on the stream tonight because I know she has some things to do tonight or whatever. And I told her, she don't have to worry about popping in tonight or whatever. My friend Sierra is also a moderator now on the channel.
Heck
Oh
yeah.
no. Here we go. Here we go.
Yep.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, it is.
Guys, we might experience some technical difficulties, but I promise you, as long as we can get it back, to normal, we'll just ride through it. You know what I mean? It is raining outside in our parts, most of the parts, of the country right now, so
Yeah,
expect a
and
little
as you
lagginess. But
and as you could probably hear once in a while in the distance, you can hear the thunder.
right? It's just like the song says, and the thunder rolls. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, maybe it's Stu
Oh
trying to
man.
send us
Every
a
time,
heads up.
hey, you're not lying. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised in all honesty. See some more of these comments before we dive into it. Oh, good old Devontae.
I gotta love him.
Gotta love him.
Must be doing something
Conrad
right if he
says,
wants to troll us.
oh yeah, absolutely. Always would be here for the creators. I appreciate it, Conrad. I see you have some things on your channel too, Conrad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to subscribe to you after this ends.
Yeah, I already subscribed to him. You know what I mean? Definitely some interesting. So I think what you do like Call of Duty and stuff like that, right, Conrad? You know what I mean? Do you do like are you planning to do like what is it called? Well, like basically like gaming, you know what I mean? Like game videos of you, doing gaming or whatnot. Let me know about that.
Yeah, that'll be
But
fun to watch
speaking
him do some
speaking of
gaming stuff.
gaming, yeah, speaking of gaming, I'm with all the lagging issues and trying to get everything right. You know what I mean? And stuff. I want to mention, guys, in the link. You know what I mean? Also, Bob, I put your channel, in the link. So any new viewers, Tina, if you
Yep.
want to go subscribe to Bob's channel, his link is in the description of the stream. As well as guys, my friend Rob, he has a YouTube channel called Renaissance Man Gaming. Check him out. I for, I forgot to pull the link so I can showcase it here on the stream because, like I said, with all the lagging issues and everything, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know if this stream was gonna happen tonight because I didn't know if the rain was gonna pass my way because it was raining pretty hard here and stuff. But it finally did die down, and just like I said, I just kind of lost track of everything. But I just want to mention, you know what I mean, in the link in the description on the bottom of Bob's link or whatever, there is his YouTube channel and the link for his video for his trailer for I'm going to say Carnival. That's what it's called, Carnival. Check it
Yep.
out. He's got some good content, you guys. He does basically like gaming as well, anime and stuff. Check him out, Renaissance Man Gaming. Check him out. He's really really good. You know what I mean? Got to give a shout out to our another fellow content creator and a friend of mine. He's really really creative, and you should see his artwork too. He has in the video he has a few displays of his artwork in the video, so definitely take a look at him for sure. Really really talented guy.
Yes, he is.
Donovan Augustine. Hey everyone, what's going on, Donovan?
Welcome to the stream, Donovan.
Val says, "Yeah, I saw that. He just won't give up. He pops in on Marcus a lot. Yeah, I kind of feel like he has a big thing with me and Craven. In all honesty, you know what I mean. He has a real issue with me and Craven. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean, but it's whatever. You know what I mean. It's negative energy. I'm not gonna let it. I'm not gonna let it derail this. Or derail what we do here.
It,
It's,
yeah.
it's as like I said, guys. Listen, I don't care if somebody ribs me as long as it's not like really derogatory or disrespectful. And obviously, he does get disrespectful. But I'm more worried about somebody's disrespecting you guys in the chat. That's the thing that really bothers me the most. You know what I mean? Or my guest on the stream. Me myself, I have thick skin. It's whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely no negative vibes around here.
Nope, none are allowed.
Conrad says gaming and horror content. Oh yeah. So
Oh,
Conrad, yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to chat it up a little bit, man. Have to get you up on here too. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Yeah, and I just
Val
subscribed to
as well.
Conrad.
Val, you as well. And I said something. I sent a video clip to Carrie, because I know she has off Fridays and Saturdays, if I'm not mistaken, off of work.
Yeah,
So um Val, Carrie, Amber, and I'm gonna say something to Jackie as well. I want to put together a Saturday stream if you all would happen to be available. Doing basically a stream showcasing like all the female serial killers in like cinema, horror, all that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna hit you guys up in an Instagram message, probably do like a group thing, and we'll talk about it for sure.
yeah, definitely. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
I know Amber's definitely looking forward to doing some because she was happy when I said we're thinking about getting her involved in here.
Yeah, yeah, and I definitely want to. That's why I said something about those computers and stuff backstage or whatever. Because like I said, I want to send her out one too because I know she said she could use some equipment and stuff like that. And us content creators got to stick together. I say it time and time again. There's a lot of content creators out there that hey, and it's they have every right to be. They kind of want to be selfish and just do their own thing. Me,
Yeah,
I'm just more on the side. Is like why just help yourself when we can all help each other?
exactly. I'd rather help someone else out that needs it than just not do anything because in order for us all to succeed, we have to help each other.
That's a
That's how
fact.
you make YouTube a better place.
That is true. And that's how we make this community a better place.
Exactly.
Val says, I have
Exactly.
video and pictures to show you guys where I was this weekend, deep, deep, deep in the woods. Perfect place for horror movies. Oh, yeah, yeah, you definitely do, Val, because, yeah,
Oh,
like I said,
definitely.
once this channel grows, and once I feel comfortable, especially just even just with me financially and stuff, I want to start dabbling into fan films and stuff. And, obviously locations are going to be a big thing. So I would definitely like to see those pictures.
Definitely. That'll
But
be
yeah,
fun to see.
and yeah, like I said, Conrad, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up too. We're definitely going to be getting you up on here. Val says, "Hell yeah, Marcus, I would love to do that." Yeah, I figured I figured you would. I figured you all would. In all honesty, I think I don't know why I just came up with that idea. I was just like, you know what, you know what I mean. Let me think about something. What to do for the ladies. Like kind of like have like the ladies come in on a live stream and what could we talk about? And I'm just like, well, fuck. You know what I mean? That's kind of easy. Let's talk about all the women, and whether it's horror or just serial killers in cinema. Let's just have a
Yeah.
big live stream and do something talk about that. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot. You know what I mean? You got Mrs. Voorhees, you got Sharon Stone and Basic Instinct. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
can go on and on.
Oh,
But yeah,
definitely.
that's something, that can definitely happen for sure. For sure. All right, guys. So let's get into it. So Halloween ends, obviously October 14th. And the more and more that the time passes, in all honesty, I don't know why, the more and more I'm starting to get less stress about how this movie is going to play out. Before we get into all that good stuff, I want to ask you, Bob, Dr. Mathis, who's going to be played by Michael O'Leary, and I forgot to put his picture in the overlay, but we're just going to wing it, like I said. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So as soon as I did that video. Remember, I did that video for the cast the other day. I put that on the channel or whatever about the Halloween cast. I was talking about the other characters outside the main four or
Yep.
whatever. And I had said about Michael O'Leary how there was no name underneath his name or what have you. You know what I mean? And stuff. Once again, I'm catching up and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, fellow subscriber, if I'm not mistaken, had commented and had let me know, hey, he's going to be playing Dr. Mathis. You know what I mean? That's who that character is. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Dr. Mathis. As soon as I heard that, just sirens went off in my head.
Yeah.
So, my question to you, Bob, is who is Dr. Mathis in your opinion, and what role do you think he will play in this movie?
I With there being a time gap, the one thing I'm thinking with this, if they're going to introduce a character like a Dr. Mathis, maybe along those 4 years, we open up where it's a continuation of the for a little bit of that same night. We get some conclusion, and Michael escapes at first, but somehow because he goes to this cave that's near Haddonfield, what if the town follows him to said place? They capture him, and we see Dr. Mathis trying to interview him, and it's kind of like I guess you could say kind of like an homage to the original Halloween and a little bit of the Rob Zombie, where we see a doctor trying to interview him, get information, but he sits there and says nothing. And this doctor doesn't know anything about Michael Myers. So in his mind, he thinks that Michael's clear to go, and he actually lets the state release him. So instead of having a tragic escape or something, this new doctor that knows nothing about him thinks he's mentally fine.
That's very, very interesting.
Because then we won't
That
have another escape
ability.
route to go.
That's true. I like that idea, but I'm not gonna lie.
I
And
mean, I don't want it.
maybe it's I kind of think it's a good idea to a degree because I mean, you know what I mean? It kind of does give some insight as to why Michael was being changed to a lesser facility to begin with when he shouldn't have never been, removed from maximum security. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that would be nice. That would be something to touch on. And as well as he could be coming back because maybe he feels guilty, maybe he feels responsible. I
that
mean,
too.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I heard Dr. Mathis, maybe it's just, me, you know what I mean? I just felt like maybe this character could be something of a Dr. Loomis. You know what I mean? Like maybe he has some connection to to Smith's Grove more than we think. Maybe he was more involved with Sartain, or you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit with Dr. Loomis back in the day. Like I just have a weird feeling that this doctor he's gonna play a real big part. And I have a feeling they have a golden opportunity here that okay, we obviously are not getting Dr. Loomis back other than just flashbacks.
Yeah,
Why
make
else would why else would you be bringing another doctor into the fray, especially if he wasn't already involved with somewhat overseeing Michael? Even though Dr. Sartain was obviously his main doctor after, Dr. Loomis died, who's to say if this guy wasn't like his second, like his second, his lieutenant, if you will, you know what I mean, and stuff, his assistant, you know what I mean, and stuff. I just got a weird feeling that this guy is going to be playing a real big role in this movie, and I'm getting Dr. Loomis vibes, and I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know how I feel about it. The reason why I don't know how I feel about it, if that is kind of the route they're going to go, if that's how this character comes out, is because we've done so well already without Dr. Loomis. I mean, the flashback was phenomenal. You know what I mean? That was grade A. That was top notch. But
oh, definitely.
in terms of having a character kind of come in and be that new Loomis, I don't know if I like it because like I said, Sartain grew on me because he was the complete opposite of what Loomis, was. You know what I mean? And I actually like that part of him as a doctor. You know what I mean? And stuff. And
Yeah,
I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's interesting. It's a character we're going to definitely have to keep an eye on once this movie comes out. I think he's going to have a big role, man. I do. Man, I got a feeling this motherfucker's going to be the new Loomis. And I don't know how I feel about that, man. I just,
yeah. That's going to be hard because you really can't replace Donald Pleasance as that character.
you
Like
can't.
nobody's going to be able to.
Like,
Well, I can't say that for 100% certainty, but I feel like no one's going to be able to have that same feel behind Dr. Loomis. It's like Donald Pleasance knew that character so well, even when the franchise was going downhill with 5 and 6. Like he was still kind of that same character.
exactly.
So it's going to be hard to fill those shoes if they put him in as the new Loomis.
It is because then you got to think, especially, okay, I mean, nothing against Michael O'Leary, but he's not a spring chicken himself. He's kind of up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if they're going to do a time, all right. So let's say if Halloween ends and Michael, but we know Michael isn't really dead, and you're going to do later movies. Is this guy going to really like? Are we going to see this again where a guy in his damn near 80s is trying to chase down this fucking maniac? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to just say it this way. We could buy it because that's the era we're used to. You
yeah,
know what I mean? We could buy it because that's what, that's what our era and that's what we like. In terms of like the newer generation, I don't know if they would buy that. You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
don't think they would.
So it's just really difficult. And I feel like if you're going to, really bring in a whole new character to kind of fill in that Loomis role, well, for all that, you should have just basically did a reimagining and just had Tom Jones Jr. play Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, definitely.
That that's you know what I mean. That would have just been best because obviously it's obvious he even outside he favors Donald Pleasance a lot.
Oh, oh,
Like
definitely.
even outside of the makeup, he favors him, and he nailed the voice. You know what I mean? So if there was
Yeah,
anybody, if you're gonna have, I'm just saying, if you're gonna incorporate a Doctor Loomis character, just give me more flashbacks of Doctor Loomis.
exactly. You'd be better off doing
You know what I
that.
mean? Way better off. You know what I mean? Look how well it was received in Halloween Kills. I
Yep,
mean, they had everybody thinking that that was CGI, and that was just makeup and hard work.
yep,
Like, so, like, I just feel like if you're going to kind of bring that type of character, but I mean, obviously, we don't know yet, guys. We we got to wait to watch the movie to see how this Doctor Mathis character is going to play out. But I don't like the vibes I'm getting. I just got a feeling he's going to kind of be that new Doctor Loomis role. There's a reason they're bringing another doctor in, and just how about this
yeah,
idea? What if they go? All right, see, no, that wouldn't work because you kind of did that with Sartain because Sartain was kind of like the new Win, the new Doctor Win.
yeah. He was.
And the reason why that popped in my head for this character, obviously, because if you look at him, he kind of does look like Mitchell Ryan a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
He kind of does. So, I mean, could they still go that route? I mean, wait a minute. Hold up, man. All right, I just had a real interesting theory that kind of popped in my head. See, this is why I love doing these live streams and these wing it like conversations because shit just pops in on the fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so we know about the cave dweller and the radio tower, right?
Yeah.
And I've been seeing a lot of content creators put out about the new Michael Myers mask will be controlled by Silver Shamrock, what have you. All right, whatever. What if this guy is like the real Doctor Wynn type guy, and this is the route they're gonna go, like to mesh it in, like, and that is
Hmm.
true that the mask is like a Silver Shamrock mask, and he's pulling all the strings, and I would hate if they did that. I really would. Like, I just had that real weird feeling. Like, what if they just try to mix in, some stuff from the past in with the new? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just had that real weird vibe about that.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
definitely hope they don't use him as another Win-esque character because then what if they go the whole cult route again and really tarnish the whole legacy
Yeah,
of what John Carpenter wanted? Because
exactly. I think
the
it was
whole
a well. I think. Go ahead, Bob. My bad.
I was gonna say because this was kind of John Carpenter's return, to at least getting the story he wanted to somewhat tell with Michael, even though he wanted to only have it be an anthology series. But he kind of has seen that go out now with his own little idea, because he even put in canon now that Laurie and Michael aren't brother and sister anymore,
Yeah,
which was something he always said he hated. So I hope they don't do it to keep honoring him, but yeah, I could definitely see them possibly doing that because as much as I want to have faith in them, the Halloween franchise has been so topsy turvy. You never know what they're
Hmm.
going to do.
You're right.
Because there is a possibility they wanted to redo the season of the witch. What if they're doing this to promote that and they end up screwing that whole storyline?
Exactly. Like,
So
I just hope they don't do something like the cult thing. I just really hope, or nothing. I don't want the mass to be controlled by Silver Shamrock or none of that.
nope.
Leave that alone. You know what I mean? Just give me something original, something that we can believe in, and something that we can clap at the end of the movie. It's not that hard to do. It really
Definitely.
isn't. It really isn't that hard to do. Let's check out some of these chats, see what the chat is saying about this. First Comrade says, when I get a big following, I want to start doing fan films as well. I want a Nightmare on Elm Street fan film. Yeah, definitely, Comrade.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I will say this real quick to venture off that he brought that up. I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure you have. A lot of people have. It's been out for a few, I want to say 2, 3, maybe even 4 years now. That Dominic Smith Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if the movie ever got officially made, like the fan film got officially made, but I remember seeing a trailer out for that, and that looked really good for a fan film. I'm not gonna lie, that
Oh,
looked really, really good. I can't. I tried looking it up, and I don't know if the movie ever got made.
no, I've never seen it since I saw the little teaser of it, and I would really personally love to see it because I would love to know what he was going to do with it.
Oh man, from the trailer alone, I was invested. He did a really good job. Like from Freddy to just the overall vibe, even just the trailer, I was like, "Ooh, I want to see this fan film." So definitely, Conrad, yeah, go for it, man. You know what I mean? Why not? You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
the only thing that's stopping us from being successful is us, simple and plain.
exactly. And maybe you should start with that with the small following you have. Maybe try to build some little teaser trailers and gain some traction. That might actually help gain you that following you might need in order to
Oh
create
yeah,
a full one.
yep. Any little bit of content, any little bit of content you can do it. Post it, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? I said this a while ago on the stream. I remember when I started off doing podcasting and I was doing the sports stuff, and I started getting frustrated because it was so many months in, and I'm like, man, I'm really not, doing anything, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And I never forget my boy was like, listen, things sometimes might not pop the way you want it to right away. But you got to remember, those videos are there forever. Eventually, you'll get to where you want to go. Just
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? But like I said before, after a while, it's not even that. I mean, I still love to talk about sports and all that stuff, but I like to more talk about it, outside, like and more in with my family, friends, and stuff like that. More so than actually going live or doing YouTube with it. I enjoy doing this way, way, way more. You know what I mean? Like in terms of content creating for like horror movies and stuff like that. I love doing this shit.
oh yeah, it's definitely fun. And even the
Absolutely.
watch parties that Craven and Night Watch do, it's fun being a part of them as well. Just seeing different horror movies that maybe you haven't seen before.
Absolutely. Val says, I think he is a fan of the shape like Dr. Sartain. That could be possible, Val.
That
Like I
yeah,
said, that could be very much possible. Very much possible.
yeah,
I think that character, Dr. Mathis, in my opinion, becomes now the most intriguing character of the whole movie.
yeah. It really can make him one of the stronger characters if they execute it correctly.
It really can. Conrad says the flashback was a chef's kiss indeed. Oh yes, it was, man. I remember watching that shit
Yes.
and I popped instantly. I was like, get the fuck out. Like I was just like, what? Like, no, no,
At
how did
first,
they do this?
to be
Like
honest,
I
to
was
be honest,
so hyped.
at first I thought it was they found some lost footage from the original or something.
Me too.
So
Me
they
too.
really did an
I
amazing
thought it
job.
was either lost footage or CGI. And when I thought about the CGI, I said, damn, they did a really good job with that CGI because CGI don't come out looking that damn good. And then
No.
come to find out, that's why, because it wasn't even CGI.
Yeah, exactly.
Val says maybe he's Laurie's doctor. That can be very possible as
Or
well.
Allison, or even Allison's.
Or Allison.
I mean, Allison
Yeah,
took a real hard beating in those two. I mean, she lost her father, her mother, her friends, her boyfriend, all within the span of one night.
Oh yeah, she's gone. I expect her to be kind of out there in this movie. I do.
Yeah.
I do. With all the shit she went through, yeah, I expect her to kind of. I've said it in videos before. I expect her to kind of be like Laurie was in 2018, traumatized, ready to go to battle. I expect that. That's why I'm expecting. I will be really surprised if I don't get that type of character out of Allison.
Oh, same. I'll even be disappointed, quite frankly. They set it up so perfect for her to have mental issues.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I would be really upset too, because I think there's a golden opportunity there, especially if you're going to make more Halloween movies. And I would like to assume that because now that Andy Matichak has made her name in the franchise now, I like to assume that if you are going to make more Halloween movies, it will involve her. Well, you have to establish her then, even more so now.
Oh, definitely. She has to be established.
As the new lead.
Or, and this is a stretch, what if Halloween ends up killing off everybody but Michael? Because it would still be Halloween Ends because the whole story began with Laurie and Michael.
You're right.
So Laurie, so just a thought on that one anyway, that's possible.
That's a good thought. Oh man, that would be nuts. I think that would kind of go in line with what Jamie Lee Curtis said, that the ending would make a lot of people mad, because I don't think a lot of people would expect that. Me personally, I would love that, but I do think that would make a lot of fans mad.
Oh, definitely.
I do. I think that would piss a lot of fans off. But you know what? I'm saying go for it. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you're going to do. I mean, my thing is this. They said for sure they want to make more Michael Myers movies. So that can easily mean the entire Strode timeline and family could be killed off. All bets are off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It says nothing about future future Strodes being in the movie. Not even Allison. So that is something, to keep in mind. They want to make more Michael Myers movies. So that is a very big possibility that they could kill off everybody.
Yeah, or what if Bucky comes back and he's the one that kills Michael?
Oh man, I would be mad, but I'd laugh. That would be a really good laugh. You know what I mean? That would be a really good laugh. I will say this: if they do bring back that character, they better get somebody who looks just like the guy,
or have him playing an older version of himself.
He passed away.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because I was watching the commentary. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I looked that up. He passed away, man. I checked into that after we were talking about it that night, and I was like, man, let me see if this guy's still alive, and he's not. He passed.
Well, hey, let's get a Bucky Jr.
I'm about to say Harlow something. I forget. I wanted to say I forget. I know his first name's Harlow. You know what I mean? But I forget his last name.
Yeah, I gotta look that up again. Hey, maybe we get a Bucky Jr. then.
Right. Conrad says there was times I thought that was Donald. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Conrad also says the theories are the best parts. Oh, absolutely they are.
Oh, no question. No question at all.
Oh, Conrad is kind of in agreement. He says, I have a feeling that they're going to do that, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope we're all wrong about that. They better not do this cult shit. You know what I mean? They better not do like Val says in this next comment, no sibling connection, no mass controlling. Yes, none of that extra bullshit. Thank you. None
okay,
of it.
but
Dino,
I still say,
what's up, buddy?
But I still say the radio tower should still play a huge part, not controlling him, but that could be, like I was saying, due to COVID, that's how the town connects, or even how if there's a massive power outage, they're able to contact the next like few towns over. So I think the radio tower still could play a big part, just not in the way people are thinking with controlling him.
That I like that idea that you've mentioned before about that. I would be really relieved if that's how that played out because like Val says, no damn radio tower in terms of controlling Michael and being the
Yeah,
reason why he does what he does. Like, yeah, we're definitely on agreement with that. Like, none of that shit. But in terms of what Bob says, like he said, he made some very valid points. With the, you gotta think it's a 4-year time jump. So with COVID and everything, what if, they do an homage to Halloween 4 to where Michael throws Bucky or a Bucky like character into the electrical, boxes of the town, and it knocks out the entire power to where the only thing they have left for communication outside is the radio tower. So I like that idea, and I think we lost Bob for a second. Oh, I hear you, buddy. Oh, there we go.
definitely.
I hear you. How about
I had to
that?
turn the
It
camera off
skipped
for a
for a
second. I wasn't
second
sure if it
for a
was on
minute.
my end or.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was going to say I turned the
You're
camera off
good.
because it was skipping you, but my thing was still moving. So
Okay. But yeah, it was it was only a trailer from what I recall. It looked really well done. Conrad, are you talking about the new Halloween Ends trailer?
or are you talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street fan film that we were
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about?
okay. Yeah, he's talking about the no, he's talking about the fan film. Yes, because I see it. He says, "I love Dominic's vision for what he did with the trailer. I want to make Freddy scary again." Absolutely. I loved that trailer. I love that trailer. I'm gonna
Yep.
have to look it up and see if that's out there. That fan film has to be out there somewhere.
Yeah, it has to be. There's no way it's not. Unless he did it only for trailers and never got funded enough to actually film it, which is possible.
That's true. That is very, very possible. I didn't think about that. Man, I don't see how anybody, if you watch that trailer, how would you not want to help that guy fund it? That looked incredible. Like, I'm
Oh,
not gonna lie,
definitely.
if I would have known about this type of stuff in terms of like knowing how to help fund content creators back then, when this trailer was made and stuff, I would have did it. You know what I mean? I did for Killjoy Jake when, Craven was promoting him on the street and stuff
Yeah,
about his Kickstarter for his movie. As soon as I heard that, I was like, "Yep, I'm on my way. I got you." You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like this is what we do. You know what I mean? We got to, stick together as content creators for sure.
exactly. We really do.
Really good. Yeah. Conrad says, "I cheered in the theaters. A girl looked at me all weird." Yeah, I get talking about Dr. Loomis. I'm pretty sure the Dr. Loomis scene. Oh well, she'll be all right. She get mad, she get glad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Hey,
don't.
make
My
sure
thing is
make sure when you see ends, make sure you're sitting next to the same person so you can cheer and make her even angrier.
right. Piss her off even more. Um, Cameron went. Cameron went down hard. Michael took no prisoners. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
What Michael did to Cameron is what you know I like to call he got broke the fuck up. he
Yep.
got broke up. He got broke up, man. Like Michael broke him up. Like seriously, he broke him. Like
Yep.
oh man, I, that to me was probably my favorite kill of the whole movie.
Yeah, definitely have to agree there.
He broke him up good. Val says, Marcus, the Halloween franchise is coming to an end. Ooh.
Ooh.
So Val, are you insinuating that everybody's going to die? I want to hear this. This is going to be good. Oh,
Yeah.
I think she did. Hold on. She said the ending will piss fans off because the Shape and Lori will both die. Mm. That is going to be interesting if that does happen, because my thing is they've built Michael up as such a supernatural power and make people believe that he can never die. So if he is going to die, they got to make. I'm gonna put it this way: if he's going to die, they basically have to cut his head off like they did in H2O. You have to go the H2O route. How else is
Yeah,
he going to really die? We've seen this guy take gunshots, stab wounds, baseball bats, you name it. He's fire. He's taken everything, and he still keeps coming. So it's
yep.
like they got to cut off his head, Val. If you're right about that, then I have a feeling they're going the full H2O route. If Michael's dying, then they're going the H2O route. There's no other way. Unless you do a Jason Goes to Hell bit when you just blow his whole fucking body up and he's in pieces and smithereens. And
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I would be really pissed off if they did him like that. I'd rather them go back to the route of just cutting his head off.
Yeah, because you could still go back into a separate timeline and continue it from, say, like from the ending of 4 or something.
Bob, here you go, buddy. That one's for you. Read the comment.
This should be fun. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but how do we know it's not just one small bit? I mean, that radio tower could still be used for other ways. It's just one small footage. It's not the whole purpose yet.
Yeah, well, that's what she's saying. But basically, what she's saying is she saw some footage, and basically what you're saying that could be used to communicate with people out of town. She's saying that in the footage that she saw, she's saying,
I misread it.
she's saying in the footage that she saw that basically the theory that you had is basically true.
Which shows you that everybody wanting to sit there and say I'm underthinking it, and everybody wants that one line from the original, like he was waiting for a signal, is wrong.
Yeah, like that's fucking wild. Good stuff, Val. Thank you for that. But no more spoilers, Val. No more spoilers. We'll let that one go. I mean, I don't want any more spoilers. But I like that one because Bob called that shit. So you know what I mean? If that is true and that's in the final cut of the movie, Val, that's what's up. Thank you for that. Whatever. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, holy shit, Bob called that shit.
Yeah, but Bucky's son's going to be the reason that generator works. I'm calling that as well.
Bucky's son. Speaking of which, we gotta still. I gotta still put that. I gotta hit up Carrie and still put that video together. I have the concept already in my mind, how I want it to look and all that. I need Carrie's help because I've seen some of Carrie's videos, and I will not lie, she's better at doing the special effects touch up than I am. So I'm gonna trust her a little bit.
Yeah, definitely she is. She's better than most of us at this stuff.
Conrad says it's still on YouTube. I just checked. See, when I checked back this, it was a while ago. So maybe it got taken down initially and then got obviously put back up. But when I went to look for that damn, fan film from Dominic Smith from Nightmare on Elm Street, I could not find it. So thank you, Conrad, because I'm gonna check that out. Now, Conrad, just let me know real quick. Because I don't care. Because if I gotta buy it, if I gotta rent it, I'll rent it or whatever and stuff. But is it free or do I gotta rent it or buy it? Let me know. Shay's in the chat. What's up, girl? How you doing tonight? Thanks for joining. Always good to see you, Shay.
Yeah, welcome, Shay.
Dino says, I think what Jamie meant. I need to get some damn glasses. I think what Jamie
you and me
Lee,
both.
Yeah, I do. I think what Jamie Lee meant was excuse me, when she said they won't like the end of Halloween, is because Allison is getting the final blow. I mean, possibly Dino, but in all honesty, at least I would say, I'm going to be fair here. You know what I mean? From our inner circle, Craven Knights, and obviously us here on the on my channel and all the the Lethal Collective, Bob's channel,
Yeah.
what have you, our inner circle, whatever, and stuff like that. A lot of us want to see Allison be the one to get the final blow on Michael. We want to see that come out of her.
Yeah,
So,
because if you have Lori die, that gives Allison even more because she lost her mother, boyfriend, father, all her friends that we saw, boyfriend, and now Lori. That's now going to give her that mental drive while being so unstable in her own mind that she's not going to care if she dies. She's going to go right after Michael.
yes, exactly. And I think, like I said, just to be fair though, because I can't speak for every Halloween fan out there. You know what I mean? So maybe there is some people out there that would be a little pissed off about that because they would want to see obviously Lori and Michael just duke it out and that be the final say. But my thing to that is that okay, well, what if Michael kills Lori? But you know what I mean, and it's not the end of the movie. You know what I mean? Like it's about to be the end of the movie, but Allison's still alive. You know what I mean? What is Allison supposed to just do? Just run off and then what? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No, she
is that
has to
how it
fight
ends?
back.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
She's going to run off? Is
she
that how
has
it ends? I mean, that'd be
exactly,
stupid.
exactly. She has to, she has to do what Lori learned to do, and that's stop running and fight. You know what I mean? Simple and plain. So,
Yeah,
I mean, you could be right though. There could be a lot of people that would not like that. You know what I mean? That's not impossible to think at all. I'm just saying, from at least from what I've read and from other content creators outside of our circle and stuff, and in our circle, a lot of them, a lot of us want to see this happen.
yeah. Now, another thing they could do, and this would piss off a lot of people, because a lot of people don't like the whole cult, like the Thorn trilogy, but
Hmm.
it, Bearded brought up an interesting point. They did bring up with the whole failed marriages. What if Allison and Lori aren't the final ones? What if one of the other children, whether it be if you bring back Danielle somehow in that role, still being a daughter, or even if you brought back like some or had some new relation that they saw in the news about this and they recognized it was their mother and they end up helping out and it's that person that gets it at the
It's
end.
not
What
impossible.
I mean, they'd have
It's
to really explain it in the beginning with the whole 4 year jump and everything, but it's not impossible. And we don't know how
not
long they
impossible.
want to, and we don't know how long the movie's going to be yet. We just know
That's
it's done
true.
filming. We just know it's done filming. So,
That is true. And another thing, you know what I mean, is that if they really wanted to bring, explain, all that stuff in the past, it really wouldn't be that hard if they did it right and made it make sense. Think about it. They covered 40 years worth of timeline. What's
yeah.
what's any more backstory? You know what I mean?
It,
Like when we had that stream, on Craven's channel and stuff that, on that Friday, and
yeah.
Bearded brought that up, when he had asked me what would I think, because when I think it was Ghostface Fanatic had super chatted in and asked me what did I feel about Danielle, being in the end of Halloween Ends, and I
Yeah.
felt that, because we didn't get any backdrop on it, that would make sense. Now, if they come in, if they're, let's just say for this, we're going with the premise that they're going to do that. If you give us a good backdrop and a damn good explanation, I think it will be well received, and then we can say, okay, now we see where you guys are going, and now we can see what direction this can lead into. You know what I mean? It can't.
Yep.
It's not impossible. It's not. They have. If they were to do something fucking crazy like that, because that would be totally unexpected. It would be. It's wanted, but it would be unexpected. We really don't expect to see Danielle Harris in this movie in any
No,
shape, way, or form.
no, and a lot
Now,
of people,
if they
well, a
bring her
lot of
back as a Jamie Lloyd character and do it right, that would be big. That would be massive.
although if they do, then what I want to have happen at the end, say it was Danielle Harris Beck as Jamie. What you have to do, if you want to continue on, or even drop a little callback to 4, at the very end of that, have her pick up Michael's mask and just have her staring at it and cut to the credits.
I mean, like I
because
said, I wouldn't be against that if they do a backdrop at least. Because if she just shows up, and if she's just, I'll put it this way, if she just shows up as Jamie Lloyd, now she just shows up as Danielle Harris, and we don't know what character she's playing,
oh
I'll
well then
accept that a little bit. I'll accept that a little bit, but I don't know, man.
no,
That's tough.
I
That's a
was just
tough
saying
sell.
to add on to yours with the whole if it's done right. I mean, that's the only way you would end that if you ever come back. Because if you want to still do more Halloweens
Okay,
past
now I
that,
see what you're saying.
you
I
have a chance.
misinterpreted.
You have a chance to actually go back and recreate the whole trilogy from 4 to 6 correctly now,
You do. But yeah, you're right. Just
and it
like
would
Bearden
have.
said, I thought that was interesting when he brought that up. You know what I mean? That's something that could be done if they do it right. They have to do it right, though. They have to nail it. If they don't do it right,
Then it just
that
hits
can
for no
backfire. But
reason. Yeah, and then it just hits for
exactly,
no reason. And what was the point of it? Just to make more movies
exactly.
later on would be stupid. But I
And
always felt
yeah,
Danielle Harris should have another chance because in both versions she got screwed in the end.
yeah, she did. They did her so wrong, man. And I put they did her and Ellie Cornell wrong. They fucking they
Oh my god, yeah.
I could literally go on for like probably an hour on how many ways they fucked both of them in so many wrong ways, but I'm not
Yeah,
gonna do that.
don't be shocked if I bring that up tomorrow night.
Like, man, like I am telling you, they fucked them two poor girls over in so many ways, and it was unwarranted and it was bullshit
Yeah,
because they re-resurrected the Halloween franchise in a way that we accepted it as the fans, and we wanted to see more of what their story arc and where their characters was going. And
yeah,
we got robbed of that.
yeah,
We
because
we
of
got robbed
Halloween.
of that.
Because the Halloween's 5 director, he didn't know. He said he just wanted to do this and took a chance. He didn't know
Yep,
anything about the characters. And then you had Rachel killed in the first like 20 minutes of the film. You're telling me she's going to be that
exactly.
stupid after what happened in 4? I just don't buy it.
Thank you. Yeah, they definitely did those girls wrong, and it would be nice to at least see one of them, especially Danielle, get some justification and
Yeah,
be able to come back if it makes sense and be able to come back and be in a significant role. Is it unlikely? Most likely, but hey, anything's possible. This is the movies.
yeah, never say never.
That's a fact. Val says if you keep the shape going, they will have to give an explanation for the shape, and that would suck ass. The reason the shape is so scary is because of the unknown why. That is true. That's a very good point. Oh
Yeah,
man, I just don't know, Val. I don't know. I just
but then
I'll put it
again,
this way.
but then
I'll
again, you
put it
really
this
don't
way.
need to explain it. No, because if you recall Loomis's words, like stating how he had the blackest eyes, devil's eyes, and that you could easily interpret that as he's no longer human. He's lacking all human feeling, emotion. It's very the reason he's called the shape is the way he stalks. The fact he's more like in the shadows all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean it's Michael per se. You could easily go carry on with just having it being a shape because we don't really see what's underneath.
That's true.
And
That is
if
true.
you have an ending very similar to how the original was, like say we see him dead, they
What's up, Craven?
pan away for a minute and pan back and he's gone. There's no need to explain it. We all know what Michael is. The shape,
Yeah, that is true.
the boogeyman.
That is true. I mean, yeah, that you do very make a very interesting point because I mean, like I said, we've already seen this guy shot, stabbed, beaten, burned, whatever. And we have no explanation now as to how he keeps living.
Yeah,
So, you know what I mean? Like, we know that he has a supernatural trait to him. So, I mean, listen, Val, I mean, I would not be against them pulling the trigger if they actually kill him. I just feel like if they do it, they have to cut his head off. They have to go to H2O route. How else are they going to kill him? They've tried everything else.
Yeah, I
So
mean, look, even when Halloween's 4 ending, in reality, if he was anything but supernatural, that would have killed him. I mean, that wasn't just like a couple gunshots. I mean, he had the whole police force, the state police shooting him. And those ain't like little 9mm guns. I mean, they're like shotguns.
yeah, those were high military graded weapons. Like those were real weapons right there. Those were real
Yeah,
guns. What do they call it? Riot gun. Or what did Meeker say to his deputy? You got your riot gun.
yeah, right, shotgun.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So those were definitely some big boy toys, man. It wasn't like Michael was taking little puny darts or something.
And then he got lucky that the stick of dynamite missed him.
Conrad says all I want is a conclusion. It's either now or never. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I am full on board with that. Hopefully, we get a good conclusion. Also
Yeah,
says not a fan of the Thorn Colt storyline. Not really, neither. Like we said, they messed up a golden opportunity after 4. They could have went in a whole different direction with Danielle Harris and Ellie Cornell, and they messed it up.
yeah. But I'll still watch 4 over and over because it's still one of the better sequels. I mean, yeah, it's
Oh,
tainted,
actually,
but
I love Halloween 4. That's up there for me.
yeah,
I love Halloween 4. That's a
yeah.
classic for me.
I mean, the trilogy itself was tainted, but 4, I just look at it as a standalone now. I disregard 5 and 6. Besides, the timeline's already messed up anyway, so why not mess it up more?
Right. Real quick, I don't know if you heard me, Craven, but what's going on, buddy? I see you in the chat. Thanks for stopping in, my man. And as well as Jeremy Channel 333. What's going on,
Welcome,
man? I haven't
Craven.
seen you in a little bit. What's going on, Jeremy? Hope everything's been all right, buddy.
Hey, Jeremy.
Says, hey, Marcus, I'm here, bro. Always working on my 15 minutes. Always working on my 15-minute break. That explains why I haven't seen you in a little bit. I mean, been working hard
Yeah,
and
I would
stuff. I
explain it.
understand, man. I get it, man. Trust me. I'm working too, buddy. You know what I mean? That's it's. I always say this. You know what I mean? It's rough having a full-time job and then trying to do this, but if you can finagle with time a little bit, you can make it work.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
But he says, but I try to make all of your videos if I can, but your friend is right. Michael is the boogeyman. LOL. That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. I appreciate you stopping in, Jeremy, man. It's good to see you, buddy.
yeah. Good to
Hey,
see you.
hold on, great. Hold on. Speaking of which, I want to introduce Jeremy and Craven because hey, Jeremy, won't you check out Craven Something Scary's channel if you haven't subscribed already? He is a big Stu Mocker fan, and he has a lot of really good Stu content on his channel that I think you'd be interested in, buddy. So check him out, as
And
well as
and
any new viewers in the chat as well. Hit the description of this link and check out Bob's channel as well. I threw his link in the description of this stream. So check out Bob's channel as well if you're not already subscribed to Bob's channel. Bob Hunt's
and
channel.
Jer
The link
and
is in the
Jeremy
description.
and Jeremy on June 18th, Craven's doing a big live stream about everything Stu.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can tune into that, I would highly recommend checking it out.
Got you. Okay, Jeremy says, yeah, I follow him too. He is how I found you. Nice. Yes. It's all concerted effort over here, buddy. You know what I mean? Honestly, like I said, I don't know if you've heard this before, Jeremy, on the stream, but like I said, Craven inspired me, inspired a lot of us to start doing this content
Yep.
creating and join this community in the horror, community and stuff. So, thank Craven, in all honesty, for us being here, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Without Craven, I would have never been inspired to do this.
honestly,
I really wouldn't.
For real, I'm gonna go back to something Val said here because it's something that I want to touch on. Hold on.
And while you're doing that,
Okay.
I'm definitely looking forward to it as well, Craven.
Oh yeah, and y'all know I'll be there.
I'll be there. I may stumble upon my way.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Upon my way. I love it. That is my jam, man. Every time Craven plays that, I don't know, man. That's That makes me pop. I love that.
I love doing it.
Hell
Gotta
yes.
love it.
But okay, so Val says you take the mask off to kill him. Okay. I'm gonna spew real quick, Bob.
I'll let you.
Okay, so Val, the issue with that is they've already taken the mask off many times. We've seen Laurie do it in 1978. We've seen Allison do it. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, he put the mask back on both instances, but we've seen Michael kill without the mask. I mean, I honestly don't think the mask is really what is his true like is his true what is going to kill him or be the death of him. Here's why. Think about what Dr. Loomis said in Halloween 6 when he went to go see Miss Strode and tell her about getting her and her family out of that house because of Michael, he's back, etc. And she asked him, "What makes you think? What makes you think the reason why Michael will come back here?" And Dr. Loomis says, "This house, he holds all his memories here. This is, his rage, and that
His
always stuck
rage.
out to me. Yep, his rage. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? His rage. That house is so much more pivotal, in my opinion, than the mask. Because, like I've said, we've seen Michael Myers kill without the mask or whatever. We've seen him be
Yep.
attacked without the mask. You know what I mean? We haven't
Yep.
seen how it affects Michael. What happens if you mess with his house? What happens if you burn down his house? How will that affect Michael? What will that do to Michael? Because we all know this. Lonnie says it perfectly. He set it up perfectly in Halloween Kills. This is why I say the house is so much more important. He kills and he goes home. The house is, in my opinion, what's going to be the death of Michael if he is going to, quote unquote, die. I think that, in all honesty, they are going to burn that house down in the end, and we're going to see how it plays out. I honestly think that it's more the house than the mask itself, because don't get me wrong, the mask has power, but how much power does it have? Because keep in mind, that wasn't the first and only mask that Michael Myers has ever killed in. Remember, he killed Judas in a clown mask. So how much important is that mask really to Michael?
Not because even when you go back to Halloween 4, the state when he did get taken in by the state took his mask, had to go rob the convenience store again
Yeah,
for a new mask. It
yeah.
wasn't the same
And on
mask.
and on top of that, remember, Dr. Loomis did fire shots at him. He didn't have the mask then, as well as he crashed the ambulance. You know what I mean? And he didn't have the
Yeah.
mask. He was all taped up. So not even so even not even the mask being off. That's Listen. Michael Myers is Michael Myers with or without the mask. Simple and plain. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? With or without
Yep.
that mask, he is who he is. Think about it when he killed that kid and his father in the escape when he was escaping in 2018. He didn't have his mask then. Did that stop him from killing?
Nope.
Did that stop? I mean, did he seem hurt by the bus crash? Nope.
Nope.
You know what I mean, so it's in my opinion, Val, it's not the mask. In my opinion, it's that house. That house is the key as to maybe the potential downfall of Michael Myers. I'm glad you brought that comment though, Val, up because I really wanted to talk about that because I did do a video about it and stuff. And when I did the breaking news video about the CinemaCon teaser and all that stuff, and I said it. I said in that video, I feel like in that teaser that they said that the kitchen scene with Laurie and Michael duking it out, I think it's going to be in his house. I do.
Yeah.
I really think it's going to be in his house because think about it this way, and the reason why I gave that reason is because think about Halloween 2018 when she had the model of Michael Myers' house in her house, and obviously she lit her house on fire, and then you see that model burn in flames. What would be a better homage as to, okay, well, my house is burned down now. because basically because I was trying to kill you. That didn't work. But what happens if I do it to you in your house? How will that affect you? Because we all know you just kill and you want to go home.
Yeah, I definitely see that working.
If he doesn't have his house, then what?
Uh, Most I could say, what if it unleashes all that rage? What if he became so enraged that that's now a new reason why he. What if that's like the beginning? Say the whole thing was the fight in the beginning, but Lori survives in that because we see her leaving the hospital in the extended cut. So what
Mm-hmm.
if she goes to the Myers house? So that's where I was saying with the whole opening takes place in the same night. The fight happens there. She ends up winning, setting the house ablaze, and the house burns down. And then the remainder is what she bulldozes. Because people are saying she bulldozes the house.
Mm. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting. I wouldn't. One way or another, I want to see what happens when Michael loses his house. You give me that. If you can give me that, and I just want to see what happens, man. Like, I feel like if you put his house, there's either one or two things that's going to happen. One or two
Mm-hmm.
things that's going to happen. Either he's going to fold and he's going to crumble, and that's going to be, what hurts him or whatever kills him, or we are going to see a wrath unleashed like we've never seen before. If you think Halloween Kills was something, you will see something completely even more sinister, in my opinion.
Definitely.
I don't know. All right, we'll see. Let's check out some of these comments here. See what everybody's saying in the chat. Craven, say that's right, Craven. Conrad says, I'm going to be on the Stew stream. Yes, that's what's up, Conrad. That's what I like to hear. So Craven inspired
Oh
me.
yeah.
Yes, he inspired us all, man. I always say it's Craven, he's family, man. He's a great guy. He's a great human
Yeah,
being.
he really is.
Jeremy says, is Nev Campbell going to return? Or she maybe that will suck. I want to see Stu Mocker and Cindy Prescott face off. I'll say this real quick, Jeremy, before we do tackle into the Scream 6 news. I'll touch on that real quick. I personally don't think Nev will be back in 6. If she is, it will be for a very light cameo, maybe an ending scene cameo. You know what I mean?
I think
But
two small scenes personally, but I'll get into that when we get there.
yeah. But as far as the ending part of that, Stu Mocker and Cindy Prescott face off, I will say this: I don't think we're going to get that until the 7th one anyway. You know what I mean? In my opinion, we'll see. We will see. Jeremy says, yes, I think you're right, Marcus. I think the house may be it. The way you're saying it, or at least hold some validity there. I just have a feeling that house, you know what I mean? Like I said, I want to see what happens. There's either one or two ways. It's one or two things that's going to happen. If she does burn down Myers' house and bulldozes it, even if it's early in the movie or whatever, it's either Michael's going to fold and, that's the death of him, or we are going to see Michael Myers unleash even more in a way than we did in Halloween Kills. Even though they said the kill count ain't going to be as much, that doesn't mean that he can't be more aggressive. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean he can't be more violent. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm really, really fascinated to see what's going to happen, especially in terms of what they're going to do with the house. I do think the house is going to be a big part. Val says, they Myers' house gets destroyed, but I think it's before the ending. Okay, yeah, Bob did mention that too, whatever. See, I don't know. It could be. It could very much well be. That's why I said that I want to see what's going to happen, even if it's at the beginning of the movie. How does it affect Michael? how will he react? What type of Michael Myers will we get? You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
really want to see what happens if his house is fucked with. I really do.
same. I think it's going to unleash chaos like we've never seen.
Dino says, "Wait, isn't Michael's house going to be demolished by Lori? I could have sworn David Gordon Green tweeted about it." Oh, you're very much possibly true. I said, guys, I'm behind like a mofo. You know what I mean? I've been trying to catch up with everything I can find and stuff. Like I said, when I started doing this channel, you know what I mean? I was working from behind, so I'm still catching up. But you know what? It's okay. We catch up together. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And stuff. Like I said, it's very, very possible. But in all honesty, let's also keep in mind that that also could not be true. That just could be something that he could have threw out there as a nugget just to say, just to keep us guessing as to what's going to happen. You know what I mean? But it's very, very possible.
yes, it
Remember,
is.
guys. Remember, guys. Two resurrection doesn't exist in this trilogy. Did I refer to anything as anything resurrection? I can't remember in my
No, but
spew.
we no, but well, then again, everything we did mention really didn't have wouldn't have happened. But 78 would have,
Yeah,
so it'd still be
absolutely.
valid.
Yeah, I just like I said, I referred to that part in Halloween 6 when Dr. Loomis, that always stuck in my head. You know what I mean? That's why I referred to that part. You know what I mean? In terms of going back, to the old series. It's just that line always stuck with me, like about that house and why he always goes back. And I just really want to see what happens when you fuck with his house and you take it away from him. What happens? What does he do? What direction does he go? How much more violent does he get? I want to see
Yeah,
it.
definitely. I think it's gonna, like I said, I just see it being more chaos than anybody's seen yet. Because now
Evil?
because evil really never dies. That was the whole concept of Michael back in '78. Was that evil never dies?
It's the truth. It's the truth. Val says evil is at its strongest when it's hiding. Unmask it, bring it out of hiding, and it's weak and vulnerable.
Yeah, but then the whole argument with like how Halloween 4's opening went makes no sense.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Um, this is where I kind of differ from that in a way too, because Lori took off the mask. You know what I mean? After stabbing Michael in the neck in 1978, didn't do anything to him. You know what I mean? Like they've unmasked him already a few times, like, and it does nothing to him. Like there's no
Yeah.
shortage of weakness, none whatsoever. When he killed the podcasters in the bathroom, did you see any shortage of weakness in that man? He didn't need a
No.
mask to kick. He didn't need a mask to kick Aaron's ass. You know
Or
what I
any of
mean?
the
And
people in
mind
the
you,
gas station. I mean,
no,
because you had the guy in the garage and his jaw was smashed to oblivion.
yeah. So like that's the only issue that I'm having with the whole masking, Val. You know what I mean? Not to like crap on your theory or anything. I love it. You know what I mean?
That and that
I just
that
I just
also
feel like
the whole battle at the end of at Kills, they were beating up and he didn't have his mask on.
no. Remember, he put his mask back on.
Yeah, but remember, they were beating him up all through that, and Karen stabbed him before he could get the mask. He was getting beat up with everything before he got that
No, no,
mask.
no. He put the mask on before they start beating on him. Because remember, he hits the middle. He sees the mask there, and then you see everybody, and that's when Brackett says, "Hey, Michael, it's Halloween. It's always good for one good scare." And then they do a shot to everybody around again, and then they hit the music. Michael picks up the
Oh
mask,
wait,
and
no,
then
that was
that's
the
when he
knife.
starts.
No, you're right. I'm thinking of the
Yeah,
knife. That's
yeah,
my
yeah, the
bad.
knife. Yeah,
No,
the knife. Yeah,
sorry,
the
I
knife.
had an
Yeah,
image in my head, and for some reason, I'm
yeah,
thinking it's the mask in my head.
yeah. No, you're good. No,
I don't know why
you're
the hell I
definitely.
thought it was a mask.
No, you're good. You know what I mean? But yeah, that scene he did put the mask back on. But like I said, my whole thing is we've seen him not be weakened without the mask. He's still as strong.
Yeah,
He's
and that whole
still like
bus crash. That whole bus
hold
crash
on.
too.
Hold on. Another instance, Val. Remember in the bathroom in 2018 when he's battling with Aaron. Aaron hits him to the face with a crowbar. Does nothing. You
Yeah,
know what I
and
mean?
don't
Does
forget
nothing.
that bus. And before all
Does
that, the bus crash.
yeah, does nothing. It does nothing. But we're gonna see. We could see. Now, maybe if you go in a direction like you exterminate the mask completely, maybe we'll see if could that happen. That's not impossible. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just feel like this. If him not having his mask truly makes him weak, we wouldn't have got the kills in the bathroom. We wouldn't have, we wouldn't have got the kills of the dad and that kid after the bus crash. If
Yeah.
the mask, him not having his mask makes him weak, we wouldn't have got those. We would have seen a frail Michael Myers. You know what I mean? So, but that's definitely interesting. And hey, it can happen. You know what I mean? The mask is a very, very powerful entity because the mask does resemble who he is as a man. He's pale, emotionless face. So it's not impossible to think, you know what I mean, that the mask could have even more significance than what I think. It's definitely not impossible, Val. We'll see.
Yeah, but
You
then
know what I
that would
mean?
also make less sense with the whole. Then how did the clown mask make him? Because then it would just be that one mask was making him, though, and it wouldn't make any sense to his childhood.
Exactly. 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 That's another thing too. Yes. Let's see some of these comments here.
But yeah, my bad. I'm thinking of the knife, and for some reason, I thought it was a mask.
Craven says that's what I think too. But hey, it's not impossible. We'll see. Like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. You know what I mean? It really is. It's let's just hope we get a great movie, guys, that we can all clap at the end and be happy, and hopefully we get a really good conclusion with this movie. I really hope we do.
Definitely. Or leave it very well
Congressman,
open
I
ended
agree
to
with
where it,
Val.
or leave it open ended. If you execute it correctly and leave it open ended, it still could be a great movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a feeling it's kind of going to be open ended a little bit. I don't think we're going to get a clear cut conclusion, in my opinion.
I'm really hoping
When
we
do
don't.
when do we ever? That's why I always go back to it mostly. Other than what we thought of Halloween H2O and they robbed us of that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we had Halloween 2, which would have been the conclusion, because when we
That is
got to
true.
3, it was supposed to be an anthology.
That is
4,
true.
if they kept the same writers, that might have also ended, Michael, because it seemed they wanted to use Jamie.
That is true too. Because of the ending. That is very true. Man,
Uh,
that
um,
was
uh,
such an iconic shot too.
Other than that, yeah, they pretty much all ended open ended. Because 5 had Michael escaping with that man in black. 6, he escaped before Loomis got there. Uh,
Yeah, Michael kidnapped himself because Don Shanks played the man in black and played Michael.
yeah, he broke himself out.
He broke himself out and kidnapped himself.
Yeah, yeah, and then 6 was how that ended because he again escaped. H2O was supposed to be the end because of the decapitation, so that didn't end open. Ended, and
That's true.
8 ended when he was taken to the morgue and woke up,
Right? Oh, God.
which we still never
Hold
got a
on.
conclusion to that.
Hold on. Hold on. Remember when he opened his eyes, you heard him. He did
Yeah,
that voice. It's just like, what the fuck? I'm just like, oh God, why would you do that to Michael? Like
yeah,
him of all people.
Well, now we know where Rob Zombie got his idea from.
Yeah, yeah, he went extra hard on those grunts. The crazy thing, I liked Tyler Mane as Michael because I liked the movements and stuff. He was he's entirely too big. You know what I mean? When I look at Michael Myers, I always envision a guy who's basically 6 feet, 6 feet one at the most. You know what I mean? Normal build. You know what I mean? That's what makes him scarier, in my opinion. You are easily going to be intimidated by a 7 foot, 300 fucking pound plus monster. You are,
Yeah.
especially if he's charging at you in a costume with a big ass knife. You know
Yep.
what I mean? That's too easy to be intimidated.
Yeah, it really is. But at least he did get some of the movements right, so I'll give him that. Could have been far worse.
Again,
I think it's
another quick lag out real quick. Yeah, another quick lag out real quick.
Yeah, but at least it was another
guys,
quick
we're
one.
powering through it.
Yeah, we can't control the weather.
And the rain is. I knew the rain was gonna. Yeah, the rain. I knew the rain was gonna have some type of effect, but it's cool. At least it's not like destroying the stream, so we're good.
Yeah, like it would have earlier.
We could take a couple seconds back for a second. Before I delve more into these comments and stuff real quick, and before we keep going, I actually have to go use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Don't say you'll be right back, because you won't be right back. You'll be killed. Let's see. Let's see some of these comments here. Oh, definitely, Jeremy. The 7th movie is probably going to be better, but I think 6 will set up fairly well, personally, because I see them setting it up to where it makes sense for the 7th installment, personally. Oh, I hope you are able to get your friend Jimmy in here one day, Jeremy. That would be very cool. So, definitely can't wait to see that.
All right, I'm back.
Yep.
Let's get
All right. Let's get it. Hit it.
Yep. All right. Let's see some of these comments. Oh, Conrad, I agree with you. Yeah, I had that comment. So I agree with you. If something happens to his house, he is going to snap, in my opinion. I hope they let him snap.
Yeah, he better snap her.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go ape shit, honestly. Yes, the 7th movie will be better. I agree. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, no doubt, Jeremy. No doubt. You're welcome, buddy.
Well, I don't know. I think
just an opinion. That's my opinion, though, Jeremy. I mean, they could bring him back in 6. We don't know yet. I mean, I just think it would be better if you're going to reveal Stu as a mastermind, you do it in 7.
But here's my thought on it. Don't have him revealed until the very end. Like, say it's right before, say midway through the credit roll, or even at the end, because some movies like to put it at the very end. Have something at the end where maybe have something like I've been saying, maybe something with a dreaded post. I started it in '96, or if you want to, you can have the phone call with Sid, but we don't hear a voice, and we see Sydney's face in shock and awe, but we don't hear anything. Yeah. We just see her. So I think 6 is going to be great to set up for 7.
I like that idea more of of her getting the call but you don't hear anything, and the reason why I like that over the Reddit thing. And that started in '96. I feel like it would be such a dead giveaway that is Stu. I want to still be in, suspense as to whether he's still alive or not. You know what I mean? But
but say we don't get Nev for 7. What if something happens where she can't film for 7? If she gets something else, you don't want to have Sid be there and leave that as an open ended, and we don't get something with Sid. as well.
I feel like I feel like this. In all honesty, I feel like everything's mapped out. In all honesty, I think everything's already mapped out, and I think she knows she's going to be back for 7. I do, and that's just my opinion. But I have a really good feeling that this has already been planned. This has already been mapped out. You know what I mean? And she'll be back in 7.
Well,
You know
so
what I
do
mean?
I. But remember, things can always change. I mean,
Oh, it can. But I'll put it this way. Especially, I'll say this: given the success of 6, given how well it's received and how much obviously how money it rakes in. And if they give her a great story for 7 to where it's focused more on her, she ain't leaving that bag. She's not leaving that money. She's not. You know what I mean?
well, then they're gonna have
She's
some real problems in 6 bringing back Kirby. Because now, if it's not going to focus around the 6, you better have a well-developed story for the 4 remainders. And they
I
better
think
be
they will.
growing as characters.
I have a feeling that they don't bring this movie out a whole year, like basically a year and like what 2 months after 5, if they already didn't have a pre-plan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm confident in these guys, man. I feel like they have a game plan and they're going to execute it to a T. We just gotta hope that it's great and that they do it right and they do it in their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe in these guys. I do. I don't know why. I like them. I like them a lot.
All I can say
I
is
mean,
I'm
I think.
holding out hope on them, but I'm a little iffy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it's very wise to be very iffy. Don't we can't always go in with the highest hopes. We always have to go in knowing that we could be disappointed.
Exactly.
So Jeremy says, I'm trying to get my friend Jimmy on here. He's a huge Michael Myers fan. I'm going to have to go back to work, unfortunately, but at least I got to hear the interesting stuff. Thank you so much, Marcus and Bob and your friend. Yep.
Yeah.
Jeremy, if you are still here, if you end up coming back, hit the description. Excuse me.
I
Check
think
out
he
the
did.
description. I'm about to say, check out the description on this stream and subscribe to Bob's channel if you
Yeah, I
haven't
think he
already.
already did because he had commented on one of my videos, so I think he
Nice,
subscribed.
nice. That's what I like to hear. Good stuff. Good stuff. Speaking of which, let me put this damn banner. Did it again. All right, let me see what these comments. I'll get to that banner here in a second.
Yeah.
Craven singing a Silver Shamrock song.
Oh,
Love
I'll
it.
do that tomorrow. I'm not doing that now. I gotta practice a little bit. I'm
Oh,
still
what's
out
up,
of
Haunted?
tune.
What's up, Haunted by Horror, man? Sorry if I missed you. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it.
Welcome, Haunted.
How you doing tonight, buddy? Yeah, because he said Lori sure amassed him in H2O. Yeah, right. I always felt like they should have always kept that. If they were going to end it, they should have always kept that ending. But we know that Mustafa Khan wasn't happy. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, hey, who knows? We might get it this time around. Can never count it out.
Oh, you're good, Val. I'm a little bit behind in chat anyway. Val says sorry, lost internet connection. Marcus, you were right. The mask was on when he was attacked and kills. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He put it on, and
Yeah. I was thinking of the
I'll
knife.
be honest. Yeah, Bob was thinking of the knife, but the only reason why I knew that for sure is because, in all honesty, that is my favorite shot in Kills. Other than Loomis, that is my favorite shot. Is when the mob is standing around him, and then they hit the music, and he just goes to pick up the mask, like, "Oh yeah, let's go, let's rumble." Like I always got that feeling over me when I saw that scene, and I'm just like, let's go, game time, let's get it.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I
then
mean? So
but then they went way too far with the ending, extending into Karen getting stabbed. It felt forced at that very end.
yeah, no, that ending definitely did seem forced.
Even the extended
Everything
cut
kind of
was better, but it's that whole Karen scene still felt a little forced. They could have used that as the opening for Kills. I mean, it ends in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about what if they do like recreate the ending of Kills and put it as the beginning of this movie. I've been thinking about that. I
I'd
mean, I don't
definitely
know
be
why,
down.
but I would too. I think it would especially give more of a definitive answer because there was like Craven pointed out in one of his streams. We didn't see Michael going up the stairs in the shot that we see that they get in the house when Allison and Karen are sitting there on the porch, and as well as how the hell did he get past all those cops without them noticing?
Yeah, cops,
So there's
medics.
everything. So there's definitely some faux pas about that ending that if they can recreate that ending scene and make it better, obviously, and put it at the beginning of ends, I'd be okay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I
because the
looked
medics
long
would
and
have been.
hard.
Yeah, because the medics would have been taking care of Cameron, and he was
Yeah,
upstairs. So
I looked long and hard at that scene too, where they're on the porch, Allison and Karen, and they shoot real quick to the back of them, and you can see inside the house. And I literally like slowed it down, try to zoom up the stairs, you know what I mean, and stuff like get my camera to zoom up the stairs just to see if I even see feet, like to see if his feet was going around the corner. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Maybe we missed it. Nothing. You know what I mean? So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see if they recreate that or if they just leave it alone.
definitely. Because if they don't, I'm still going to be confused as to how he got up there.
Right? Craven says it would be wonderful suffering to wait. It would be wonderful. Let me get this out. Why? They just geeked me out for a second. It'd be wonderful suffering to wait 1 2 years to know for sure if Stu is on the other end of the phone for the cliffhanger at S6. LOL. Welcome that insane period of building up suspense for Stu. I would love that too, man. I would love it. I would love it. That's what I mean. Like, I don't want nothing that's gonna kind of give it a dead giveaway. Give us something that's gonna, kind of build that, anticipation. Like, we know who it is, you know what I mean? But we can still kind of speculate, and have fun with it. I like that.
Definitely.
Haunted by Horror says maybe in 7 we won't get Sid, but at the end Kirby will call her for reinforcement when she realizes Stu is alive and involved. Gotta lean back on that for a second. Hold on. That's interesting because that could be an interesting way that you can make more Scream movies. However, this is the only issue I do have with that Haunted, and it's the same issue I have with them bringing her back in 6 for basically if they were bringing her back to just help Sam battle Ghostface. She's a mother now with 2 kids. She's a mother though, and she has a husband. She has a family. Like it just doesn't make sense for me that this woman is going to keep leaving her family every single time other people are dealing with Ghostface, especially if she didn't get a phone call. You know what I mean? From Ghostface themselves. You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of gets tricky, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But it's not impossible. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I just don't like the whole every time let's call. Oh, okay, he retracted that. He says I meant 6. Even then, like I don't want to see Cindy just keep coming back to just help everybody, all these other new people or Kirby, battle Ghostface. like I said, she has a family, husband. Like that's got to count for something. You know what I mean? So like she can't just keep coming out to save the day. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think that would make sense for her character. And not only that, I want her, if she's going to have a significant role in the movie, I want the movie to become kind of centered around her a little bit. You know what I mean? So, but that's not a bad take either way. We don't know what the hell they're going to do. They could take us in a completely different direction than what we all think. So,
No, but here's an interesting theory to add on to that. What if, and this is why I was saying 2 cameos, we have the one with the ending, but say at the beginning, say it's one of the current members that were to die, but Sam knows who it was. She calls Sydney for help, and knowing that Sydney knows that she's technically her daughter, she ends up calling Kirby to have her help her since Sydney can't leave.
that's not impossible.
I mean, that's the best way to at least incorporate that if we're going to have Sam be Sydney's
I
kid.
actually like that a little bit better than Cindy having to drag herself out.
Uh oh.
Quick lag. Hold on. Let me.
Let me try
There we
something.
go. That should be a lot better too.
Yeah, let
That
me
should be
just
a
keep
lot
the
better.
camera off for a
See, I
second.
didn't even. Yeah, no doubt, buddy. I can
Just
still hear you.
yeah, I know. Let me turn off for a second, see if that helps a little bit, because it's hard doing this on a phone with this storm, even though the rain part's
Oh
over.
yeah, no. Yeah, no doubt. Even after the rain's done, it's still gonna have the potential to lag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the weather is still around in a sense.
Cliffhanger ending in Scream City. I like that. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's
Let's get
certainly an
that
interesting one.
cliffhanger ending in six. I like that too. I want a cliffhanger ending for part 6. I do. I think that would be
Yeah,
a way to be really different.
I do and I don't, because I get very nervous with cliffhangers. I'm still waiting for a real season 3 from the TV series. Better that cliffhanger.
Right?
So I don't know if
Right.
I do want a cliffhanger.
That's all right. They'll do it right. These guys got it. I believe in them.
Yeah, then
Part of my
again, we
heart is
did get the whole Weinstein problem at the end of season 2. Pretty much in between that is when that problem came out. So that
yes,
probably
sir.
didn't help. That probably didn't help matters.
Haunted by Heart says, yeah, but I feel like if it's Stu, then it would be a game changer. She wouldn't be safe anywhere until she confronts him. That is true. That is true, but then he would have to call her. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah, it
especially if
can't be.
we don't know it's if we don't know it's Stu off the bat. You know what I mean? So like that's what makes it tricky about that. You know what I mean? And I'd rather them save that for 7 to where it's more about Cindy. I have a feeling this movie is going to be a lot about Kirby. You know what I mean? And as well as Samantha and the other characters. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I said, the fact that we don't know if it is Stu, I mean, we may believe it is. You know what I mean? We may know it
Yeah,
is. You know what I mean? But they don't know that. And Cindy wouldn't know that. It just wouldn't make sense for her to just keep coming out of parenting retirement, basically. Retirement of parenting and being a wife and just keep saying, "Hey, I'm going to keep risking my life, to help these other people out." You know what I mean? Even though the killer's
yeah.
not really targeting me. Now, if Stu or whoever the killer is calls Cindy, then I'm okay with that. Then she has a reason and a purpose because she's been targeted. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I want her to be. If she's going to be targeted, I want her to get a phone call. I don't want her to be subliminally targeted. I mean, because by having Kirby get a hold of her for reinforcements or Sam, she's just a subliminal target at that point. You know what I mean? That's all she is. Now, if the
Until
killer calls her,
until we find out the truth about Sam being her daughter, then that's a whole another story.
yeah, exactly. That too. That too. Because I'm really highly on that horse. I think that she is her daughter. I mean, and that's another reason why. I mean, that could be a reason why Cindy could keep coming back to try to help Sam because she feels some type of guilt for abandoning her, basically. You know what I
Like
mean? But
like her mother did to Roman.
yes, exactly. You know what I mean? And just make it make sense. That's all I
Yeah,
ask. If you're gonna
yeah,
keep
that's
having Cindy come back and fight these battles with these people, make it make sense. Like, you know what I mean?
exactly.
Tristan Quarter, yo, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining the stream.
Welcome, Tristan.
Greatly appreciate you popping up, man. We have 6 people in the chat right now. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for showing out. I appreciate all you guys that's in the chat right now. Honestly, y'all support, man. Y'all, this community, man. Like, honestly, I love y'all for real. Like, words can't even explain it. So I'm just gonna shut up. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
love you guys. Honestly, like. Hold on. Craven has something interesting. He says haunted by horror. Yep, if her husband is killed, that would also do it. Yeah, or her kids kidnapped. Possibly, as Gail was killed, she may come back to help, but her husband and killed kids is the best way to get. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Like I said, give us something that makes sense for her to come back. Don't just let it be a phone call from Kirby or Sam. Like, hey, I mean, even though I do believe Sam is her daughter, I just don't want it to be a phone call. Hey, Ghostface is back. We need your help. I mean, let her have a reason as to why she's coming back. You
I
know what I
think if
mean?
she gets a call from Sam at all, it should only be for advice in this movie.
That too. That I agree with that. Haunted by horror. Hey, Ghostface, leave them kids alone. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. You know what I mean? Like I said, I honestly don't think Nev is gonna be back. I mean, first 6, and if they do, like you said, it's gonna be maybe 1 to 2 scenes max. Honestly, I don't see a big role. And in all honesty, now let's talk about this. What do you think about Courtney? Like, is she even gonna be in this movie?
I mean, at this point, she hasn't even confirmed it in technicality. I mean, she said she liked the script, but she never said she was signed on. So it's
Exactly.
possible she might not be. Just because you like the script doesn't mean you're a big part of it. She could be killed off in the opening kill for all we know.
That's a fact. That is a
Although
fact.
going back to the kids thing, here's another interesting fact, and we could definitely have something interesting going on there. What if Sam or Tara gets kidnapped at the very end, and one of them is calling Sydney for help, but it just pops up unknown, and say it's Sam. Tara's saying my sister was kidnapped. Sam's gone. With that face drop, we could easily recognize that me and you were on the right end. That's her kid. Doesn't even have to be Stu calling.
Possibly. I would want more definitive. You know what I mean? That's happening. I feel like we need to dig into more of those diaries to find out. Honestly, I want more
Well,
dialogue out of the diaries. I think there is so much more in those diaries that she left out, and I want them to be slowly but surely. I want those to surely but surely be coming out, man.
well,
I do.
I highly think Christina Carpenter is going to be in it, and we're going to find out the truth of that diary.
Huh?
I think Christina Carpenter is going to be a huge part of this one, and we're going to see them diaries.
I hope she is. I mean, I'm all but now certain she's gonna have to be living with them there now. Like, she's gonna have to have a place close by. You know what I mean? Or she's gonna have to be coming in town for a little bit to be in this movie, because them leaving Woodsboro kind of does change her dynamic a little bit.
It
Unless
does.
unless like we think, we could get some scenes back in Woodsboro too.
Yeah,
I would like that.
Yeah, that having it in two separate locations will definitely do something Scream hasn't done for a while. I mean, the TV show kind of delved into it a little bit.
Yeah, I would like that, man. I really would. I think that would make it very, very interesting. For sure. Like Craven says, last words from Courtney was, I don't know where the contracts are at. Not exactly fuzzies.
Yeah. That is true.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. That made me fucking laugh. It did. Not exactly warm and fuzzies. I know that's right, Craven. That is so true. Like, yeah, I mean, especially when she's putting it like that. Like, I ain't seen no contracts. You know what I mean? Like, so, oh, we lost Bob, you guys. It's okay. We'll get him back. We'll get him back here. Don't worry. I'll hold it down. Any warm and fuzzies, Craven. It seems like there's some tension in the building. For sure. Definitely feels like some tension in the building. Especially when she's talking about, oh, well, I don't know where the contracts are at. You know what I mean? So sounds like some shots fired, if you ask me. Pun intended. Why is it all I don't like this.
I hate.
There we go.
I hate doing it on a phone because the minute you get a
Right, there
phone
we go.
call, it just. Yeah, sorry about that. Once you get
Okay,
a call
got
on a
you.
phone,
Oh yeah,
because it
yeah. No, you're
closes
good,
the.
buddy. You're good. It's all good.
Yeah. Now I thought I'd explain why it just randomly lagged. It's not anything anybody said. I hate phone. I hate getting phone calls at this hour.
Craven also says contract breakdowns happen all the time. You're not lying about that, Craven. For sure, especially if the story
Yeah.
and the money doesn't add up right. I mean, and also keep this in mind too. It's just because she says the script is good, that does not mean the script is good for her character.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to delve into. I'm like, just because she says it's good doesn't mean she'll like it. In that sense, because her character could be treated like utter crap.
Exactly.
For all we know.
Exactly. What if they want to give her the Dewey treatment and she's like, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah. So.
You know what I mean, like that's possible, especially with how they did David. You know what I mean? I seen Craven did a video about that, and I watched it, and I did not like how they basically just didn't even really consult with David about it. They just said, "Hey, yeah, look, we're just going to kill you off." And I'm not sitting there saying that it wasn't the right idea, because it was. You know what I mean? But you got to give a guy like that, a legend like that, you got to give him more respect. You know what I mean? You got to give him a lot more respect. You know what I mean? Like, that's a legend. You know what I mean? So throw some respect on my name. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like how they went about that at all. And maybe, just maybe, that's how they try to do Courtney, and she's like, "Oh, no, 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 we're not doing that." You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not impossible, man. We'll see. We will see. Haunted by Horror says, "Oh no, we lost Bach. Can we fix it?" Yes, we can. Absolutely.
We can always fix it.
Inu says, maybe Michael knows about a secret room to get to his sister's room without anyone seeing. Then maybe his sister used them to sneak guys up there without her parents knowing, had Michael saw it one day. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that. As long as they don't try and explain it like they did in Resurrection with all these hidden areas in that house
Yeah,
in Resurrection, I'd be down to see that. I'd just be nervous they'll do the Resurrection treatment with the house if they do that.
right. I agree with that. Like that's it's funny you brought that up, Bob, because in all honesty, it's like you took the words right out of my mouth. That reminded me so much of Resurrection and all those hidden, all the extra room that house somehow was able to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So yeah, that means definitely. It's a very interesting take though, Dino, for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that concept. It just for
I
some
do
reason
too.
I just can't.
I
I
do.
just see resurrection when I read that, and it's like, oh God, I hope they don't do that in the resurrection sense. But it could work if
Oh hell yeah.
executed correctly.
Oh yeah, especially if executed correctly. You know what I mean? Definitely. You know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see for sure, man. They're going to. With both of these movies. They're either going to make us happy or they're going to piss us off.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Uh-oh. Another quick second lag.
Damn lag again.
Yeah. No escaping it
You
in
know
this weather.
something.
I.
You know something though. I'm gonna say this though. You know what I mean? For all the damn money you spend with Xfinity to not have these issues, this should be bulletproof in the rain with all the damn money you spend with these people. Like, in all
Yeah.
honesty, like there should be not even a speck of rain that should cause your live stream to lag or anything. You know what I mean? But
I. I would
unfortunately,
give a
that's what we
pass to
get.
hurricane type weather. That I could understand. I mean,
There
that's
you
worse
go.
than.
Like tornado, like maybe snowstorms and shit like that, I can understand. But
Yeah.
rainstorms, it's just like, really? This is what causes, all this high power technology to skip and lag?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
really?
ridiculous.
It really is. Makes me fucking mad. I don't like it.
Like hurricane, tornadoes, and snow, I can respect, but a
I
simple.
bet everybody I bet everybody in the chat earlier is probably like they are being so damn petty right now. I'm sorry. You gotta be a
Well,
little
if
bit petty
you
sometimes.
guys should have seen what would have happened if I was running on the laptop. You wouldn't say we'd be being petty then.
Oh yeah, it was really bad. It was getting really bad for sure. It definitely was. But fortunately, you know what I mean? And that's the weird thing. It's so weird is that sometimes phones actually just do work better. Just sometimes
Yeah,
on I don't know why.
yeah, I don't get it, but
They just
sometimes they
do.
do. I never
Craven,
understood it, but phones do work better at times.
quit quit your rotting. I'm sorry, I can't help it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They need to
we've had
fix this,
long
bro.
days. Yeah, we had long days.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm about to say, of course, Craven. Just kidding. Trust me, I know your pain. Absolutely, buddy. But see, this is the thing though. We can't talk to Craven about long days, bro, because this guy. You're talking about a guy who will literally stream for like 11 hours out of a 12-hour day. Like, you know what I mean?
He
Like,
would no, he would go 24 hours on a 12-day stream. You
you're
you
right.
keep forgetting his Craven time. You have to add a lot of extra time.
You do. Like, it's so funny. Real quick, it was so funny because what was it? I think it was Sat. What was it? No, it was Friday night. So Saturday morning.
Yeah, the
Saturday
watch.
morning.
Yeah, from the watch party to the next
I
one.
woke up. Yeah, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know why. Something just was like, all right, you know what? Check YouTube. Just I wanted to check and see if I had any comments or anything, stuff like
Yeah,
that. And I see it says Craven something scary kicking back with Craven live, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It's 5 in the morning.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? But why? I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, we did it. For that 7 hours at night.
yeah.
I
Almost
mean,
8 hours.
but I saw that, and I'm just like, it's so funny because it's like you go to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Talking to Craven, you wake up talking to Craven. It's really a beautiful thing. In all honesty, I admire the hell out of it.
yeah.
Like it's just so funny because I'm sitting there looking at. I just sitting there and I see it. It says live, and I'm just like, I'm gonna pop in the chat box. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, let's do it. And him and Carbonite are just sitting there chilling, talking. Carbonite's taking shots and stuff.
yeah.
Gotta respect that, man. Gotta respect it. Gotta respect Craven's hustle, man. And all honestly, like, not even being like funny or nothing. Like, honestly, from what I see, like, he's probably the hardest working out of all of us right now. Like, honestly, he goes hard. Like,
Oh,
he
he really
strictly goes
does.
hard. He does. Like, he puts in a lot of hours. He puts in a lot of work.
Yeah, and all
You
it
know what
takes
I
is
mean?
like one day for him to regain his voice.
Yeah, right. That's true. Like, fuck, man, he's got special powers.
Yeah, I could use some of
Shit.
them powers.
I'm about to say, yeah, share some of that, Craven, please. give,
Yeah,
give us some
especially
of
when August comes.
that pixie dust. Give us some of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
pixie dust.
yeah.
We need it.
Yeah, send that pixie dust our way for August when we're all at Monster Mania.
Oh man. I'm telling you, I really would love to do that. Like, have us all get together, grab a booth or a few booths, and take over the whole freaking weekend. You know what I mean? And go live and just have a great time, and also be able to do the things we want to do, see the people we want to see,
Yeah, no
get
question. I
autographs and stuff.
definitely. Heck, even if push came to shove, I could possibly find a way to the horror hound, or the one in Cincinnati. I'm not remembering the name off the top of
Yep,
my
you
head.
got it right. You
Okay,
said it right,
horror.
brother. Horror hound. Yep, you
I can
got it right.
always I can always try to convince my mother, hey, come down, we can all go to Cincy for the weekend when that happens.
Why not? Bro, it's not bad, man. I liked it. I had a great time when I went. The people there were really, really welcoming. They treat just like us in the community, like
Yeah,
family. You know what I mean? Like, it was a really, really good time, man. Honestly, the way it's set up is all right. So Friday, it's the first. It's from Friday 5 to 10. It's, I think, strictly like autographs and picture signings and all that stuff. Then Saturday, the convention's open from 11 to 7, so you get the whole day, a whole 8 hours. But both Friday and Saturday nights, they have after parties to where you meet up at the hotel across the street from the convention, and everybody meets up and we have a great time. They have karaoke. They have a couple, bars in there. They have a restaurant in there and all that. It's nice. I
yeah.
liked it.
It
I
kind of
liked it a
reminds
lot.
me of the one I went to in Baltimore for uh, the MLP thing. Because the
Nice.
first two nights there was a whole like after party thing, but it was just you go to the like underground part of the convention center, and it was just all these different musicians playing, and it was a huge dance floor, and oh, it was fantastic.
Oh,
How I
hell
could
yeah.
still hear after that, I don't know.
I know that's right, man. Yeah, I've been in a couple events in like Baltimore stuff. It does get pretty live up there. It's a pretty
Yeah,
live crowd.
yeah, and being
Give me one
around
second,
those
guys. I gotta
people.
take out. Go ahead, Bob. Keep talking. I'm gonna
Eh,
take out the dog real quick. He's bitching at me.
It's fine.
He is
Okay,
bitching.
gotta love that. Well, no, the one thing with that
Hell yeah.
convention I definitely remember was I was there with my one friend, man, and got everything was just shaking. I mean, after the whole after party, me and him went back to the hotel room. We ended up drinking Jack and Coke, and man, that was the first night. Second night after party was even crazier. I actually got to meet a lot of the community members of the MLP, the Brony Hood, and it was cool to meet people like Jesse Noacking and El Monte, and it was a nice experience outside of the horror thing. And it was funny. I had no intentions of even going. I never heard of the show of My Little Pony or anything at that point, and I'll tell you, it was not a regret going to that at all. It was a fun time for me, and I know my friend loved it because he never saw anybody so excited like that beforehand. So that was definitely one of them. But yeah, always gotta love going to them small things. So because I definitely want to try to get to some other conventions because that was the only one I ever had been to. So yeah, I'll never forget that because first time at a convention ever, and actually first time I got to have fun at something like that. So
All right, I'm back.
welcome back, man.
Yeah. Had to take the pup out real quick.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying real quick. Sometime I got to pull up clips, and when we meet in person, I can show you all the different clips because I'm on a few different videos here and there. A little bit of lag.
Oh hell yeah, man! Definitely. Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit. Hold on, I see it. Yeah, we good now. We're good.
yeah. But you know what? I'll take a
But
little
no,
bit of lag.
I heard it. I'm gonna say I heard everything you were saying out there. That's why I put the headphones on and stuff like that. So just in case I had to make a run and take him out to go do his business and all that stuff. But no, like I had a friend named Jimmy or whatever and stuff. I used to work with back in the day at Sonic. Yes, I used to work
Yeah.
at Sonic, and every once in a while I did rollerblade. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So oh yeah, you know what I mean. But or whatever. He was heavy into My Little Pony and stuff like that. So I knew a little bit about that and stuff like that. And hey, I mean, it's whatever, man. Whatever if that's what you like, that's what you like. I don't judge. I don't pass judgment on people for things they like. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And stuff
definitely.
like
No.
that. Like you
Hey,
know what I
I
mean?
gotta say,
And all
before this
honest,
community, that was one of the other open communities at that point in time before everything changed.
oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. No,
I mean,
because
that was a
especially yeah, that community, like from what like my buddy Jimmy like would show me like comments and stuff, like they were in so many ways kind of like how our community is. They really support each other and stuff.
yeah, but then when Generation 4 ended, then all these fights started breaking out and it became a community I didn't want to be a part of anymore. I'm like, it's time
Gotcha.
to move on. It's a kid's show. You can't keep expecting the same thing to run forever.
That's true. 161 days till Halloween. That's right.
Oh God! When that now every time in Craven's stream, he's gonna start counting the days and he's gonna sing this jingle with it.
Val says never been to a horror con but a Twitch con. Well, Val, we're gonna have to change this.
Yes, we are. Well, I've never been to one either, so I'm hoping at least the one in August I could go to. If not, I'm going to aim for Horror Hound.
Both of you, we're gonna have to change this for sure. And I want to go back to what Craven said here. We would shut down a convention, and if all the Cravenites descended onto a convention floor, watch out. Hell, that's right, Craven.
Yeah, and
You
we'd
are
all be
right.
pulling out the Crispin Glover dance. That floor would not hold. Everybody would be going
Oh my
down.
god. Oh my god, that would be, and we got to make sure we have the exact song too, like the exact song that he was playing.
Yeah.
The exact song. We cannot do the Crispin Glover dance if we do not have the exact song. You got to have everything set up perfectly to a T. I mean,
Yep.
oh man, it's so funny because I was watching the interview or whatever with Crispin Glover. I think it was an interview from about last year or something like that. And the guy asked him how did he get casted for Friday the 13th? And he honestly said that he knew nothing about horror movies like that. Didn't like he just was looking for a job. He said
Yeah.
he saw the ad. He saw the ad in the paper, and they liked him, and they said, "Okay, you're it. You know, you can play
Yeah.
this character and stuff like." I thought that was really interesting because it's so fascinating. Because here's a guy that, especially later on in his career, when you watch Charlie's Angels and you watch Willard, you would think he's a guy who kind of watched a lot of horror movies because he nailed that creepy look and that image and that demeanor
Yep.
so well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And also the
he
roles
did.
outside of that. I mean, when you look at some of the other stuff he did outside of that, I mean, you also had him as the father in Back to the Future. He was in Alice in Wonderland as one of the like heart guards.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. That is
he
true. Yeah.
you wouldn't think this guy would have came from Friday the 13th Part 4. When you see that, you're like, wow, that was him back in the day.
Yep. Ha ha ha. Val just said that too. She said, I just watched Friday the 13th Part 4 with Night to Night, Crispin Glover. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. Fucking right. That. Oh, I love that scene, that dance scene. I liked his scene in general. I liked his character in general. He was funny to me. He made
yeah.
me laugh.
I thought he nailed the character. I thought it was actually a fairly done good job with his acting on that part.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I like Crispin Glover. I think he's one of the most underrated actors out there, honestly. I mean, he doesn't
Definitely.
get enough credit. He doesn't get enough credit, especially like I said, for roles like in Charlie's Angels and Willard just playing that creepiness, man. Like
You know,
if
I
there
would have
was a
loved
guy,
talking about Crispin Glover. You know, I would have loved to have seen him in being the main villain in the Book of Jigsaw. I wonder if he could have nailed that.
he could, he would,
I
he
think
would,
he'd even have a creepier voice than what we did get in that.
he would. Ooh, that would be a good one. That would be a good get for them if he could do the voiceover. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
even
And
if it.
stuff like even if it's just a voiceover, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could do it.
You know, here we go. There's the lag. There it is.
There it is,
There it
but
is.
there it
There
went.
it is. Yep, exactly. But yeah, man, like I would like to see Crispin Glover. I wouldn't mind seeing him in that type of role at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that
I started thinking about that after we were backstage the other night talking about Saw. It just popped in my mind, and I was thinking, like, sometime in the life, I got to bring this up to him and see his thoughts.
yeah, yeah, Crispin Glover and Saul, yeah. Because in all honesty, when you look at Tobin Bell, he captures that creepiness, that ominous
Yeah,
look. You know what I mean? Like that in the shadows type, character and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, Crispin Glover would have been able to pull that off for sure, for sure. All right, so let's talk a little bit more, I guess, on Scream 6 and stuff because we did touch on Halloween a good bit and stuff. Um, obviously we don't know if Courtney or Nev is going to be in this movie, so
Yeah, we.
I'm gonna put it this way. All right, so let's say if we do get some scenes back in Woodsboro, right?
Yeah.
You know what weighs on my head, and it may not be that significant, but I think it has the potential to be significant depending on who the character is, and you know, I guess how red herringish they look, in my opinion. Who the hell is going to
Mm-hmm.
be the sheriff? Who the hell is going to be the sheriff in Woodsboro now?
Yeah, because we don't have Judy anymore. Dewey's dead as
Yep.
well, so he
Yeah.
couldn't come back as that.
Like, do you
I,
really think Chester Tam's character is capable? I didn't get that
no,
vibe off of him that he'd be a great sheriff.
no, definitely not. But then again, he could be the comic relief of being a sheriff if they want to go that route with him. Because usually
You know
cops
what?
are dumb in horror movies, so if they play a trope like that, it could
I
work.
did a video. I did a video about it. I mean, and it's not impossible because he's still alive, much like Charles Cypher's, was for Halloween Kills.
Yeah,
What if Sheriff Burt comes back?
yeah, that's possible too.
You know what I mean? Like,
Deadly would be a very
granted,
interesting twist.
that would be, but I'll put it this way: I think he would come. He could come back. I don't think he's going to be doing much. I think he would be like maybe like a kill off, just an extra body to kill off. But I think it'd be a nice nostalgia act. And you got who the hell? Like I said, who the hell is going to be the sheriff? I mean, the guys we saw as deputies do not look like they would be capable sheriffs by any stretch of the imagination.
No, but
What
here's
if?
something. I got an interesting thing. What if Burke's the opening kill, but first we get a call saying, "Would you mind coming back at least for just 1 year being a sheriff till we find someone who's capable?" And we see him as that, and he agrees to do it for 1 year. And then all of a sudden, that's when it starts with him, and he's the first kill,
That wouldn't be a
leaving
bad idea.
Woodsboro sheriffless, and they think he's just missing.
That's true. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be a bad opening. I think the issue we run into is more or less with the newer audience. You know what I mean? We would
Well,
know
that's
who he is.
well, yeah, but if he's going to die, it doesn't matter to the audience.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree. I mean, it's just like I feel like this. If you're going to bring his character back because he is kind of a legacy character, you got to give him more runtime than an opening kill. You know what I mean? Because I think what a lot of us don't even talk about, in all honesty, is how involved he actually was in 1996. Like, he didn't have a small role. He actually had a pretty medium role. Like, we've seen him in
Yeah,
a pretty good handful of scenes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And stuff like that. And he had some pretty good dialogue. So I've always found that interesting. Like, whatever happened to him? You know what I mean? Whatever happened to the character of Sheriff Burks? Like, did he just retire? Like, how I like that's what they did in Halloween 4. You know, when Dr.
Yeah,
Loomis said, I want to talk to Brackett. Well, you're going to have to travel about somewhat odd miles south of here. What do you mean? Brackett retired, 81, moved to St. Petersburg. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They gave an explanation and stuff. So it'd be nice to see them do that with Burke, but I mean, I would like them to actually bring him back.
I mean, it's hard because we know that some survivor or someone from the past is going to have to die. That's what everybody's saying. And rather than doing somebody like Kirby dirty like that, or even Gale, I mean, for the new audience, they're not going to know who he is. You could use him. There could be Hank Loomis, but you'd have to establish him. See, the whole thing with the whole legacy people dying, you're going to have to establish them. Because I don't see them killing
What
off one
if
of their new creations. That would be very bad booking for them. Because they're trying to build these new people up.
what if Burke what if Burke knew about Stu being alive the whole time?
That would work. Well, he would, because let's face it, that whole police department seemed shady outside of Dewey in the first one.
Yeah, yeah, they did, and it didn't. It wouldn't take much to pay them off. You know what I mean? Small town, town like sheriff's department, like
Yeah,
not. I mean, they look like they're a pretty rural, neighborhood and community. It looks like there's some money there, but we all know more money never hurts nobody. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So it would not surprise. I always thought about that with Burke too, like especially with theorizing if Stu's alive. It's like who knew? You know what I mean? Burke would have to know. You know what I mean? Dewey
Yep.
could, but at the same time, that could have been kept away from Dewey and everybody else because he was too close to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But Burke, out of all of them, I always felt Burke had the best chance to know if Stu's alive or not.
definitely. He would. He'd be one of them. And when you think
Yeah,
about it, for all we know, one of the mockers could have been maybe part of like the local government or something as well.
it's not impossible to think. What if Leslie Mocker works for the government?
Well, that wouldn't make sense. Back we it have to be one of the
Well, like,
parents. I
yeah,
mean,
you know what I mean? But I'm saying like now, like, what
oh
if the
well, yeah.
parents
Now would
obviously, yeah, the parents, what if the parents obviously, that's what they were doing, that's the type of jobs they had, and what if Leslie followed in their footsteps?
yeah, it's not
It would make
impossible.
that would make a lot of sense too, because let's say if the parents are not with us no more, you know what I mean, and Leslie
Yeah,
followed in their footsteps. Well, almost every time, because if I'm not mistaken, in order to conceal records in certain states, there's like a certain amount of years you can do it for, but every time them years are about to expire, you got to renew it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So what if every single year that he was locked up, she renewed the records being concealed or what have you? There's a lot of possibilities and a lot of directions you can go. You know what I mean? With that, you know what
Definitely.
I mean?
Even if he's faking his death, that would still, unless you have a real coroner confirming that he was dead and all that, you'd have to make sure he's cremated, number one, so they'd have to have a fake body in store for that. So even that, and if someone dug deep enough to find that, maybe Leslie has to keep paying them every so often to keep that a secret, even if she disagrees with what her brother did.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's very, very possible. Very possible. I
Like we
like
could have
that.
a blackmail situation on our hands.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, because they got money. That's for sure. You know what I mean? They definitely had some money. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I feel like they're not obviously going to go full on reveal Stu's alive in this one. I think they're going to say that for 7. However, I do think we're going to get more nuggets that are going to strengthen our belief a little bit. I'll say that. We're going to
Yeah.
get some good nuggets, I think, in this movie. I just got a really good feeling. You know what I mean? And man,
Oh,
it's
so do
already,
I.
think about it. Think about it. We're already what, 10 months away almost
Yeah.
from it being released. Man, this time is going fucking fast, man. Before we know it, it's gonna be out. Halloween ends is gonna come and go, and next thing you know, we'll be right back in the theater to watch Scream.
Yeah.
Man,
And
I
that's going
can't
to be a
wait for it
fun one.
though. I
That's
can't
going to
wait
be a.
for I can't wait for both of these movies. Like I said, I'm still somewhat a little worried about Halloween ends, but the worry has weared off a little bit. You know what I mean? So I just, like I said, I hope they do right by Laurie Strode's character, whether she dies or not. You know what I mean? Just make everything make sense and make it a great
Exactly. As long as it makes sense, I think it'll be a great one. And
movie.
it'll
Yeah,
definitely lead
because
into 7.
yes, I think so too. Oh yeah, yeah, Haunted by Horror. Yeah, they did do Crispin dirty back in Back to the Future too. Yeah, they did. They did him real
Yeah.
dirty, using his likeness against his will, against his word, etc. Yeah, that was some
Yeah.
filth.
Yeah, it was just
Val
horrible.
says, not sure. I like the fact that it sounds like they're going to mirror Scream 2. It does. It does sound like they're going to mirror Scream 2 a little bit. Now, this is what I will say is, do you think that in this movie we're going to get a whole requel of Stab? Do
I'm
you
thinking
think?
they might have something to do with the TV series possibility. I think they're going to end up finally referencing a TV series, because we haven't had that yet. And we know in real life we had the Scream TV series. Why hasn't there been mention
Yeah,
of a Stab TV series? I think this might be their chance to reference that, especially since they're talking about wanting to do a TV series outside of the movies to connect everything to the movies from here on out.
yeah, that's very, very true. I think that actually would bode better for them to do that as opposed to doing a whole new requel of a movie, because then you're differentiating yourself from the original Scream 2, as well as you're kind of, touching on something that does exist in modern times in terms of a Scream TV series. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'd like that. I'd like that idea a lot. You know what I mean? I think it would be too cliche for them to, oh, let's just make the movie within a movie and requel Stab inside a Scream 6 or whatever you want to call this new Scream movie. I think
yeah,
that would be too cliche. I think that
yeah, it
would be a
really
really
would.
good way to get. It would be a really good way to get different if they did it that way that you mentioned. I like that a lot better. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
that's how you get different. That's how you get different. I like that. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. But definitely, Val, I agree that they are mirroring a lot of Scream 2, especially with the college scene or whatnot. Now, me and Bob have both came to the agreement that we do believe that they are going to there's going to be some Woodsboro scenes incorporated in this movie. It's not going to be completely at the college. I
yeah,
mean, whether that's true or not remains to be seen, obviously. But I don't know.
But
I'm optimistic.
I still think an opening kill that would be interesting would be using uh one of the Smith kids, because you had Jada in two. If you
Okay,
and you
yeah.
could
Willa
kind of
or
play
Jada.
into, yeah. It doesn't matter which
That
one. You could have either of them. I think it would be an interesting kill and a callback to. Even if they
no,
mirror it, it'd still be
it
an
would be
interesting callback.
that would be
And
that would be
what if
make a
that's
lot
the
of
opening
sense.
kill at the college campus? What if it's not going to be a full fledged? What if the only thing we see at a college campus is an opening kill?
It's not impossible. I mean,
Just a
I just
thought.
feel yeah, but the only thing is we know they're shooting there probably the entire summer. So like
Well, that's what
it
people
just
think. We don't have any confirmation on
we
every
don't.
area they're going. We just know it's across from
That's
the
true.
production agency. That's all we really know.
Yeah, but I'd be honest. I don't think they park it over there if they're not going to do a lot of scenes at this college. Now, hopefully it's more outside of the college than like inside the college, like how we got in Scream 2 with Cindy and her movie,
That's what
class
I'm
and
saying.
all
What
that
if that kill is the only thing we see
stuff.
inside? Inside, like the main focus of the college was that
I,
opening kill.
I mean, that would be a good idea. And then you take it away from the college mostly. I would like that, you know what I mean? Because then you are kind of getting different, you know what I mean, than Scream 2. But I think in general, too, though, just the fact that they would be having it at the college is going to, regardless of whether they do it right or we like it or not, it is going to still make
Yeah, that is true. That
a Scream 2.
I mean, all we could do is hope and pray it doesn't. At this point, that's all we can. We don't have any proof of what they're going to be filming till they screw up and something leaks.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see that. That's going to be interesting. I like what Craven says here. He said it's a hot take, but I actually like it, and I think honestly, if they did, this may be a hot take, but I'm totally fine if we see no stab content or mention in S6. I'd like that too. You know what I mean?
I'd like
I
that
think
too.
that would be good.
See, my thing is, why not start your advertising though for your TV series a little bit? At least drop a little mention that hey, there might be a stab. Like say Kirby or Mindy makes a reference saying, "Oh, there'll be a Stab TV series coming up." Because why not take a chance at one free promotion?
That is true. I mean, it's not impossible to think at all like that could happen. You know what I mean? I think that they are going to heavily involve Stab. You know what I mean? But it would be refreshing and very different if they didn't. And even if they gave us like a 5-10 second like trailer of like you said, TV show or something like that, I'd even be satisfied because you're not coding it on. You know what I mean? And stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that. If not at all, I'd be okay with just a smidgen.
yeah.
But
As
I
long
thought
as it's
about
not
that.
over. As long as it's not
Yeah,
overdone like we've seen in five and in four,
I thought
because four's opening was so all over the place with all those multiple stabs. Uh-oh.
hold on, it's lag.
Yeah,
Let's get this ironed out. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, we're good money.
yeah.
Now we're
Like I
back
was
on
saying,
track, or at least
because we
for
saw
until this
enough of it.
doesn't lag again.
Yeah. So real quick, what I was saying was like we saw it heavily used in the opening of four, where it was a movie within a movie within a movie within a movie opening, and that
Yeah,
got that was way
exactly.
overdone. Five, they kept mentioning, "Oh, I'm watching all the stabs now," and we see Stab 8 being made. And in two, it was pretty much the whole premise during the whole theater thing. And then 3, it was premised around that as well because of Stab 3 back in Woodsboro.
Yeah.
So I would just like a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit so it's not all over the place. Otherwise, it's just going
exactly.
to, because they just keep rehashing it.
Yeah, and that's why like I'm right there with Craven. Like I'm just kind of over it. Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like that's why it wouldn't be a problem for them to kind of like if not completely exit it out, just give a couple seconds of it. But then after that, that's it. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like we don't need we don't need no more stab. I would just like it to be like a Scream movie. You know what I mean? Like no more movies within a movie. You know what I mean? Let's just
Exactly.
see this be a Scream movie. I would really like that. Haunted by Horror says, I kind of hope they make some kind of commentary, excuse me, on how all the recent requels all have to have 3 movies. I it just goes back to what Craven said, honey. We're just tired of the stab shit. We're tired
Yeah.
of movies within the movies. You know what I mean? It's just because if they do that, then we're just recycling, the original, basically. You know what I mean? We're not doing anything different. We're not getting anywhere really. You know what I mean? It's just telling the whole requel story. That's all it's doing.
And then you're going to have everybody dumping on 6 saying, oh, they didn't try doing anything new at all.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's just where that's where it boils down to right there.
I mean, the only commentary they should do within this trilogy now is in 7 and have Stu commenting how every killer comes back. That's the only commentary they would have to do with him because then it would at least make some sense why he's there.
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. That should only be the real commentary we get. Well, outside of Stu coming back, if Samantha is Cindy's daughter, then we got to get some commentary on that as well. You know what I mean? But
Well,
yeah,
yeah, but we don't.
yeah,
That at this point, that's more the theory. I mean, we have
yeah,
Stu
exactly.
more. We have more Stu eggs that are kind of leading toward him being back.
Oh, absolutely, we do. We have too much, in my opinion. We have too much evidence. You know what I mean? Too much evidence that the myth, the legend, Stu Macher is very much well and alive.
Yep.
S5 opening that pushed me over the edge. Then they made it to the wait. Scream 5 opening just pushed me over the edge. Then they made it in the motive. Gross.
Well, personally, I didn't have a problem with the motive. I connected easily with that motive from being in a Facebook group where everybody was complaining that they only wanted what they wanted and not what actual fans want. So I kind of saw where that motive came from. It was more about toxic fans than anything.
Yeah, I also think, and I did a video on this. I also think that what Radio Silence was also going for with that ending was kind of like a nod to real life events or whatever. Much like Wes Craven did with the original Scream, I feel like they were giving a nod to the real life events of the real life Scream killers. These 2 high school kids who killed one of their classmates, whose name was Casey Joe Stober or something like that.
Oh, of course, it had to be somebody
And
with the name Casey.
and yeah, no, they said it that they mirrored everything they did after the Scream movies. That's exactly what they no, let me say that right. They mirrored that murder off the beginning of Scream 1996 because they were so basically honored with that, what I mean, with that opening. They loved that opening so much that they, wanted to reenact it themselves.
Yeah, which gives
It's
us all a bad
crazy.
name in the horror community. And they makes us look like we're all lunatics when all we want to do is talk about something we love. We're not going out trying to kill people from with names similar to the movie.
Yeah, that is true. Well, hold on. Let's be fair here. Most of us, because there is
Okay,
some
yeah.
people. Yeah, there's some people who do take it to that extent, for
Well, I
sure.
don't even consider them part of the community. I just consider them part of someone
Oh
that
yeah,
wants to just that can't help themselves and has seen one too many things. And it's like Billy said, movies don't make psychos, they just make psychos more creative.
that's the truth. That is so true. I'm gonna go grab another bottle of water and grab my charger. This computer's dying real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab another quick break myself, get something to drink.
But yeah, you guys, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, with these movies and see what direction they want to take. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like I said, hopefully we just get a good movie.
yeah, that's all we can ask for at this
That's
point.
all we can ever ask for. I mean, that's all we can ever ask for.
And even if we don't like it, that doesn't mean someone else can either, because it's just like a piece of artwork. Just because we don't like something doesn't mean someone else won't find joy
It
in
can
it.
be for everybody.
Oh, God. That's going to be a fun one to answer with us.
Hold on, say that again, Bob, because it started to lag real quick.
I was saying that's going to be a fun one to answer with what Val asked.
They are Haunted by Horses. They are making 3 movies, so without commenting on it, I feel like they are just following that trend, and they've lost what made Scream scream. That's interesting. That's not impossible to think at all. I kind of feel like they are kind of following a trend as well, a certain trend. I'm not going to
Yeah,
delve into it. Yeah, I do think they are. I'm going to save that for another stream. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I do feel like they are following a certain familiar path. But like I said, we're going to definitely save that for another stream. The toxic fandom was there. The stab. It was that movies that motivated Richie and Amber, not the toxic fandom. Um,
it kind of was though, because remember, Amber and Richie wanted their movie with their ending, not what Stab was
mhm.
doing. Stab 8 was doing something completely opposite. While Richie only really wanted to kill Sam in all this, Amber was that real toxic fan that only wanted what she wanted. She didn't care about anybody else's thoughts. That's what started it all. At least in my opinion, that's what I took from Amber in Act 3.
I mean, the toxic fandom was there because of the stab movies, but we also have to talk about it too. Why was it because of the stab movies? Because of how shitty they had gotten. You know what I mean? And stuff. If those movies didn't get shitty, does Amber and Richie commit the crimes they commit? We don't know. You know what I mean?
It,
So it's
yeah,
but definitely the toxic fandom was there because of the stab movies for sure. You know what I mean? Because they were obviously the reason why they wanted to do, because the movies were so bad. You know what I mean? And they messed up the franchise, and at least in their opinion, you know what I mean, and stuff. They decided that it was cool to give them new quote unquote source material. So there you have that. Like,
yeah, because
yeah,
Richie wanted his ending, and that was to kill Sam. Amber, I can't really say what her full motive was. She was just so damn batshit crazy. Who's to say she wouldn't end up killing Richie?
yeah. No, no, definitely, Val. The motive of S5 was, because they were making suck ass stab movies. What I'm saying is that Radio Silence themselves, in my opinion, decided to take a page out of real life events in terms of toxic fandom, because toxic fandom can be interpreted in many different ways. You know what I mean? It can be intoxicated. It can be interpreted in the Amber and Richie way over anger and frustration over a bad franchise, or it can be taken in love and admiration, just like those real life killers, scream killers who committed that crime. It can go both. It can go both ways.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
they kind of incorporated both ways. Like, kind of
Yes,
Richie just wanted his ending, and that would be like kind of what the original like stab would have been like, because Sam being Billy's daughter, so that could have been him shooting
yeah,
her in the head for all we know. And Amber, in like she stated, she just thought Stab 8 went so far off the rails it made no sense.
yeah. Like Val says, toxic fandom was just a side effect of shitty stab movies. I mean, yeah, in Amber and Richie's case, absolutely it was. But then we also have these instances in these cases where there's people out here who are just big fans and they still commit acts of toxic fandom. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it can go both ways.
especially on like groups on Facebook, even if they don't go to the lengths
Yep,
of like real life killings.
yep.
It's
You can
just
be
people
happy
wanting it.
about the movie or you can be mad about it. You know what I mean? You can still, toxic fandom can go both ways. You can
Yeah,
commit an act of crime whether you're happy about a movie or sad about a movie. Look at the Batman, the guy with the Dark Knight, the guy who went in the movie theater and did what he did.
yeah,
He was so enamored with Heath Ledger's role and so happy with that role that he literally decided to go do damn near the same thing and make a reenactment. So,
yeah.
I mean, it definitely goes both ways. You know what I mean? But yeah, toxic fandom you know, was basically a result of shitty stab movies in the case of Richie and Amber for sure. Okay, so Val's saying the toxic fandom was there because of stab movies. It was the stab movies that motivated Richie and Amber, not the toxic fandom. Okay, but that is toxic fandom, and it's basically a definition. Because if you're
A little bit of lag.
willing,
Uh-oh.
yeah, it was lagging.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to you and it just like froze.
Yeah, it went out for a second. She says I don't disagree with that they are touching on real life events with the toxic fandom, just not the motive of the movie. I see it from both ways. I think it's a case of toxic fandom because you can either love or hate a movie and you can still go out there and commit a crime. You know what I mean? And stuff like that based on what you saw in that movie and based on that movie being the motivation.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it really comes
Craven
down to
says,
what
but the
each
difference.
individual.
No, go ahead, Bob.
I was just saying, at the end of the day, it really comes down to how each one of us individually sees how the motive turns out. Because this one was a little more on the, you could make an argument for two different sides of the coin. Was it
Oh
toxic
yeah,
fandom,
absolutely.
or were they just full batshit crazy and didn't care about the fandom? They just wanted what they
What they
thought they
wanted.
wanted to, which still in turn turns to toxic fandom in the definition because it's what they want, not what the franchise should be doing to make it a long
Make
lasting
it better for
franchise.
everybody. Exactly. Craven says, but the difference between love of the movie and being a toxic fan is when you elevate the film above human beings when the movie is more important than your neighbor, then you cross the toxicity. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
100%.
That's right. Richie and Amber cared about no one more than their love for Stab. That's what makes them toxic. Of course, being homicidal psychopaths never helps either. No, no, not at all. You know what I mean? Not
No,
at all. I mean, no, not at all.
no, made it worse.
The movies, Haunted by Horror says the movies are just an excuse, though. They kill people because they want to kill people, even if they try to blame the movies. I mean, to a degree, you know what I mean, but we have to think with that too. If the movies didn't upset them in that capacity that made them want to be homicidal psychopaths, you know what I mean? Would they have committed these acts of crimes? I think that's that's the question you can ask in reference to that is if the movies didn't piss them off, would they have killed people because they wanted to kill people? We don't know that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's still open ended to all of us. That's what I mean by it's interpret. You can interpret it two different ways because there's two sides of that coin.
mm-hmm.
But I think if they weren't so angry about Stab 8 being god awful, I don't think they would have done it personally. Well, at least not Richie. Amber, maybe. I mean, Amber's too far out there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she was batshit crazy. There's something wrong with that chick for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Craven says, plus Stu had a hand and manipulated him into a frenzy to kill. Yeah, I agree with you, Craven.
Yeah.
Stu and Samantha.
Well,
Stu
I don't know
and
about
Samantha.
Sam.
Stu and Samantha. I like you know I think she's involved. I don't know. I just got that feeling with her. I do. I really do.
Yeah, like I said, if it turns out in the end of 7, I might just walk out personally because then it's just like, well, it's rehashing every old story. The person with mental problems is automatically involved. I mean, that'd be like making Sydney the killer now. It'd be pointless. You could make an argument with her trauma, she could be a killer.
I mean, you could, you know what I mean, but how can I say? I think it adds more interesting dynamic to Samantha's character if she would be the killer, especially if you find out that not only is she's Billy Loomis's daughter, she is also the offspring of Cindy Prescott. I think it would make it very, very cool and interesting. You know what I mean? Especially if she's working with Stu. Yeah, are you kind of rehashing a little bit? Yeah, but they've already pushed that boundary with rehashing already because they've made her like Maureen Prescott already was with the 5 year gap with not knowing what she's done, all the secrets. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Just from that lens in itself, they're already kind of rehashed. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, I don't personally mind it, and if that's the direction they're going to go in, I wouldn't be mad about it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
I mean, I'm just so sick of the person with
Yeah.
mental problems always being the fall victim. It's getting to the point where I stopped watching a lot of movies if they start going that route because it's like you're saying everybody's bad, and there are a lot of people who connect to Sam that like myself with problems I've had in the past, and it's just like, well, you're saying that we shouldn't have overcame our problems. Now, if you have it where she overcomes things and becomes a vigilante and goes out hunting all these ghost faces in the cult, I'd be down for that because then we still get to see Sam being a badass, killing people in a violent way, but also overcoming her demons.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. You know what I mean? I just personally, you know what I mean? I want to see, you know what I mean? I want to see how she does, you know what I mean, in a showdown, especially if she is Cindy's mother. I feel like this. How do you have her have a happy ending? You know what I mean? If she knows that Cindy is her mother and that she abandoned her, how? I mean, we can say how can she overcome those demons? Like, I just don't see it. I don't. I don't see.
Um,
I think there would be too much. There would be too much animosity. There would be too much anger built up, much like Roman with Marine. You know what I mean? It'd just be too much, in my opinion, for her to really look at Cindy like, not only did you kill my father, because I mean, obviously you had to, but then you basically ignored my existence for all this time, and you just expect me to just be like, "Hey, mom, let's start a relationship." I don't know.
yeah, but then the same argument could go for Tara because then you could say that Tara wouldn't overcome the fact that she pretty much that Sam ruined her family and is holding the same animosity. So then Tara could easily be a killer as well then.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that would
definitely she could be. definitely the
which
only.
I personally don't want either. I said actually makes far more logical sense. Both of them were talking too much about missing each other. Richie and Amber obviously knew each other, and when you think about it, if she is seeing Billy in her head, it's possible to be seeing it while she's asleep. Easy for Richie to overhear something in her sleep if she sleep talks. Tara's going to talk about, oh, I miss Sam. I wish Sam would come back. That leads to the opening kill. Tara's a little bit in, but then they overdo it on the brutality. And she's like, screw these people. These people are far too crazy. They try to actually brutally kill me.
I mean, like I said, you definitely have some points with Tara. You know what I mean? Being the killer, the only well, possibly being involved in that opening scene and stuff like that. The only issue I have with that is that all right, so over 5 years, you know what I mean? She's been thinking about getting back at Sam. Well, one, we don't know how long Amber has actually been around, you know what I mean, to influence this, you know what I mean, as well as, I mean, we're thinking about it like this from the time she was 13 to the time she was, what, 18, she decided to do this. Like, I just don't know as a 13-year-old girl, you know what I mean, if this is what she's going to be thinking at that point in time, unless you have somebody like a Stu Macher influencing her. And I
Yeah,
just don't know without Amber or Richie being in the picture, how would Stu even get to Tara? You know what I mean? It would make more sense if Stu got to Sam, being that Sam was older, and obviously Sam left for 5 years, or I should say, Sam maybe found Stu. You know what I mean? But it's, you know what I mean. It's definitely interesting from both sides of the coin. We're gonna see what the fuck they do with this movie, man, because and with these characters, because they definitely left a lot of hanging fruit for us to talk about, and I like talking about it.
yeah. Well, we'll see what they end up doing and deciding if I am them because I'm getting sick of that one same thing where it's always somebody with mental health. It gets to the point where that does send bad vibes in real life because there are a lot of people who do overcome that. And you can easily make an argument that she keeps seeing Billy in her head due to a lack of a father figure because when she found out, now she doesn't feel like the father she knew was her father and she feels betrayed and lied to.
That's
But
true.
also, but also,
I mean,
from what I'm
possibly.
gathering, she didn't read the whole diary. What if there was something in there about the reason she did abandon her? And that's why, if Sydney did abandon her, there could be more clues in there as to why. And you can easily explain how there could start a family membership. Why continue doing the whole Roman Bridger concept? Then you're just going to continue to rehash it. And then what if the next people come in and do the same kind of story? We're just going to keep going back to the revenge of every little thing.
I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? But I just don't know. Like, it just wouldn't make like it just would not make any sense to me at all if they'd sit there and found out that Cindy was her mother, and it just wouldn't make sense. Like, you, how can I say this? Like, you have to have some type of anger. What are you just gonna pick? Or so you went through all this. Let's say if Sam is the mastermind with Stu, whatever. So you went through all this, creating all this, murder, mayhem, or whatever, just to, in the end, be like, okay, we're going to give this a chance and work on our relationship.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I
see,
mean? Like,
the problem I have is everybody wants to say, "Oh, it's all these problems," without trying to do a deep character dive. We don't know anything about how Sam really does think. Remember, them pills will take you out and having no void or reaction to having emotion. You're going to be like a robotic person. You're not going to know how. Like you might think, like feel something, but your emotions aren't going to show it on the outside because you're so far gone. So we
yeah,
don't know how she really is feeling. And everybody, and the
that's
one thing
true.
that bugs me is, look, I'm not saying Melissa Barrera is the world's greatest actor, but everybody seems to just go off of Jenna Ortega's performance as a whole when they're trying to say, oh, Sam should go to the dark side. You know, it would make far more sense only because of the acting. But there are a lot of people that I've talked to a little bit here and there that I've met through Facebook from some family friends and they actually see more of Sam possibly overcoming that and not being manipulated. Because let's face it, if they do go that route, how many people that have overcome having a serial killer as a father, even if they don't bring Sydney involved, how many people overcame that we don't know about? There's going to be a lot more than we know about because there's not going to be stories that they overcame that. Because guess what? That doesn't make a good news story. What does the news always do? They always promote violence.
That is true.
So,
But I mean, how can I say this? I guess I'm gonna put it this way: if they have Sam, I mean, I'm gonna put it this way: if they're gonna have Sam overcome her demons or whatever, then you know what I mean, or these demons of Billy, whatever, then they almost have to. They cannot. How can I say this? They cannot make her in any shape, way, or form look like a suspect. And in my opinion, they made her way too much look like a suspect in Scream 5 with her dialogue, with just certain things like just the stupidity of her character. Like I said, after 5 years, you knew where Dewey Riley lived, but you didn't know where Stu Mocker lived. They did too many things to set her up as a red herring as opposed to the final girl. You know what I mean? In my opinion, like, you know what I mean? They just did. Like, they didn't explain how after 5 years you found where Dewey Riley lived. We talked about it before. Dewey and Gail moved from that big house. You know what I mean? He moved to a whole new trailer. Hell, he even moved out of state before even moving in that trailer. How would you know where he lived without casing it? You know what I mean? Like, without casing it before coming back to town. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that make Sam look suspect. That's why I believe she's more of a red herring. Even if she doesn't get revealed as a mastermind and she is innocent and she does overcome her demons, I will say this: they did a damn good job at making her look like an ultimate red herring. Because in my opinion, she looks like an ultimate red herring.
well, yeah, but that's what's going to make it different than the other Screams. Everyone that's your basic red herrings usually stands out unless we go to like Scream 3 or Scream 4. I mean, 2 is I kind of easily figured out, at least Mickey, because he went missing halfway through. Hey, that's way too sus. When you're gone half the movie now and going out killing, makes no sense. The only twist ending for me with 2 was Mrs. Loomis. 3, yeah, Roman because he showed up at the end, but then that whole dialogue made no sense. You know? Because I had to explain the whole ending, pretty much.
Hold on, say that again, Bob, because we lagged out for a second. I didn't catch that.
I was going to say, that would really differentiate from all the other Screams. Billy and Stu, well, at least Billy was always put up front as the suspect, and he ended up as the killer. 2, Mickey was easy for me to figure out when I saw it, because he went missing halfway through the movie. The only twist with that was Mrs. Loomis, who was only in it, for like 2 minutes worth of time before she came in as a killer. So that was that was the only twist there. Roman, yeah, that was a twist, but they had to spend a whole dialogue explaining why he was the killer, because of all the reshoots and that. So, and we still didn't get Angelina revealed. So, but we know that was a thing. But 4, yeah, you could make an argument about Jill and Charlie, but making someone the ultimate red herring and not having it would throw fans off even more, and that's subverting the expectation that Sam is the killer. And they keep saying they want to take that and change it up. They want to throw everybody off, and everybody's looking at Sam as, and everybody except for me and Val are really looking at Sam as going to being a killer. And I'm even saying I'm saying I don't want Tara to be the killer, but you could set up where both of them were talking, because during that whole 6 months, because we know Richie and Amber were talking to each other.
Oh yeah, Richie and Amber, and if Tara was involved, obviously, but I'm just,
yeah, but then you're saying Sam could be involved in Sam. Yeah, but I'd need more evidence to prove that.
I
I
think
need
she
more
is.
evidence. You're telling me she did that all within 6 months, but yet Tara
Yep.
couldn't do it
No,
within a
she had
year.
5 years. She had 5 years to plan
Yeah,
whatever
but
she
we
wanted to plan. She had 5 years. We don't know how long she was really with Richie. They say 6 months, but we don't really know if they were together before that as well. You know what
yeah,
I
but
mean?
we know that
And
Amber and Tara were childhood friends. Even if Tara's not involved, there's a lot of information that Tara can accidentally give Amber. Neither of them could be involved. Everybody wants to sit there and say, "Oh, that whole 5 year thing." It's easy. They just overheard all this, and Stu already got to Amber. They could easily be related. Everybody's throwing that out as a theory that Amber is related to Stu somehow.
I mean, when they can explain to me how Samantha found Dewey, you know what I mean, but didn't know Stu Macher's house,
Lag.
I said, when they can prove to me how she found Dewey and how but she didn't know where Stu Macher's house was, when she knows everything about her father, she knows everything about the murders, the address is public record. So for her to act like she did not know where she was at was bogus to me. So when they can do a better job at showing me reasons why I shouldn't believe she's guilty, I'm going to still believe that she's guilty and that she's involved. Like I said, you don't come back after 5 years. You after 5 years, you know what I mean? And things have drastically changed over those 5 years. And then all of a sudden, you know where to find help in Dewey Riley, but yet you did not know where the original murders take place, but you knew everything else about your dad, stab movies, all everything. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
They
then you
did.
can make but then you can make the same argument for Tara, because how did Tara not even warn her though? If anybody's going to warn her if she didn't know, it's Tara. Why the hell do you have to have Sydney do it? See, I think they only threw that in there because of bringing Sydney back to make a reference of making that the home for Sydney to go back so we could the old fans can reminisce.
Well,
That didn't even
why
have
would
to
they
take place.
wait?
That
You're
movie
asking
didn't even.
wait. What
Yeah,
you're asking? Why have Tara get a hold of Sam?
no, what I'm saying is, what's the whole point of going through all this, and why didn't even Tara know then? Because Tara should have known as well if she got in the stab movies. Yet not even her has ever mentioned that.
She was, but she was. She even said she was. That was a little bit. She was a little bit too young. She only saw it once. She was too. She was a little bit too young for the stab movies. That's why, when she mentioned about elevated horror and stuff like that, she doesn't know much about the stab franchise. She even said that she barely watched it.
Yeah, but doesn't matter. It's in Woodsboro. You would know the house. It would still look the same. No matter how
Oh
young you are,
yeah,
you're going to have a connection to it. So if Tara didn't know, you could easily explain that. And we don't know if Sam ever went back to watch him. She might not remember the address.
the address is even in the dialogue. They say it in the dialogue. If every piece of dialogue from Scream '96 is in Scream 9 and in Stab, then they even say it in the scene when Cindy's going to page into police, and it's public record. It's
Yeah, but through the whole movie,
newspapers
we don't
every
see her
and
going to
and the
public
same
records.
and the same and the same and the same and the same could be made for Tara, but this is the argument for Tara. Tara didn't have no reason to look up Billy Loomis or any of that stuff because she wasn't told about anything. Everything was kept in the dark unless she found the diaries. Now, if we find out that Tara did find the diaries, that's a whole different ball game and a whole different can that we don't open and got to talk about. But as far as we know, Tara was kept in the dark about everything. Tara would have no reason to look up Billy Loomis and Stu Macher because one, that was before her time, and two, she didn't know about the big secret, at least from what they told us in Scream 5.
Yeah, but that could all be playing into her as well, just shrugging it off. You're telling me
Oh
if
yeah,
Sam's
absolutely.
sitting,
They
you're
they
telling me
could
if Sam's in that
easily.
house, she would be yelling at her mother, not sitting there and being like, whispering like, "Oh, you didn't tell me that you're my father's." Come on, it's easy for Tara to overhear that. She's not going to be calm and quiet, so you can
No,
easily
that is an
say,
interesting point. That is an interesting point that you make because Sam even said that she was screaming at her or whatever. Now the question is where was Tara at this time? Was she in the house? Was she in school? Where was her whereabouts at this time? That's something we did not get.
See, that's the point I'm trying to make. Because you can sit there and say she didn't know who Billy is, but let's face it, we know that Sam was screaming. So you could, if Tara's in that house, most likely she's hearing everything that's being said.
She would have to. I mean, I would like to assume.
See, there's small details.
I'm about to say, I know if I hear my parents arguing. What is your first thing to do as a kid when you hear people arguing? You go to try to be nosy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can easily see that. You know what I mean? And stuff. I think what it is we got to find out if she was there.
That's what I'm saying. Till we get more information, we can't assume anything what we know yet. Because 5 was more for Weston even setting up a story. I mean, it was more for Weston really, and only setting up for this trilogy.
Yeah, we'll see though. It's going to be interesting. What I love about it is how we have both, just about both sisters. We see the same thing, but we're both. I'm for Sam, and you're for Tara. Like you see, what I mean. You see Tara as the bad girl. I see Sam as a bad girl. I love that dynamic that we have. In all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, we'll agree to disagree, but I'm not.
Bob, if you think about it, it's kind of like Craven and Fate. Like,
yeah,
dead.
Yeah, except we all know Stu's alive.
We created our own dynamic here, and I love it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to back all that because both sides.
All right, Val, you have
really,
a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us
and dealing with us ranting at each other.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with us ranting at each other. Hopefully you can... Yeah, I definitely hope to see you tomorrow, Val.
Hopefully you'll. Yeah, hopefully stop in for my live stream tomorrow at 1:00 if you can. If you don't have to go to work or whatever, Val, if you're not busy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stop into that, but I might not be able to. I might end up sleeping in because I am up and. I'm just letting you know ahead of time now while I remember, because I got that stream tomorrow night.
I was just about to say, we're probably going to go just another 5 minutes here. I'm going to let you finish up what you want to say, and then we're going to end the stream or whatever and stuff, because I know you have a big night ahead of you tomorrow, and you need to rest up.
But no, what I was going to say is thanks, Val, for putting up with us, and the fact that at least I know I have you on my side out of all the Cravenites that can see eye to eye with. So me and you will continue to put up with the nonsense from these people, and we will continue to prove Sam is innocent. So what me and you need to do is work on a Sam train. Well, not a Sam train. We're going to call it tram car. We're going to call it the Sam car. And it's going to look like something you'd see on a boardwalk. I don't think Marcus understands that because he's not from New Jersey. See, if you look up any
boardwalk part.
Well, see, there's a thing here in Wildwood called the tram car on the boardwalk, and it's a vehicle that rides on a thing. It's similar to what a train would be, but it's called a tram car. So take out the word tram and put Sam, and it's the Sam car.
We can do that. What are you going to put for Tara?
Oh, I'm not on anything with Tara yet. I'm sorry. Jenna has not proven to me that she's innocent. Everybody's so in touch with how she was acting and how she's blowing up. What if they can't even get her for 7?
How's this? Hold on. How's this? All right, so for Tara, how's this? We give Tara like a mini tricycle or something, and we put her in like a little girl dress or whatever, because everybody thinks she's so innocent and so sweet. You know what I mean? Like that little girl riding up to you on a bike, like, "Hi, how are you doing today? I hope you have
God.
We could do that. That. I'll have the same car. You have the Tara bicycle. How's that?
Oh God, I'm gonna have Jigsaw dreams tonight. I'm gonna just see Tara's face instead of Jigsaw.
Yeah, right. We're definitely going to figure something out. We're going to figure something out for these two dynamics for sure. That would be cool to put on the stream, especially as it gets closer to the movie and we're both like going back and forth about who's doing what and stuff. Yes, we got to do that, buddy.
And definitely. Who knows? They could swerve us all.
What if they're both the fucking killer with Stu?
Well, you're gonna have to explain the whole Tara dynamic then for people like you, because you guys seem to think she's innocent.
Well, no, if I'll put it this way, if they do it or whatever, and they actually explain it in a way that makes sense, kind of like how your theory is, like your theories does make some sense if it is her in terms of her being easily manipulated. They just have to, they got to give us more meat on the bone. You know what I mean? They didn't give us, in my opinion, enough meat on the bone. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Like,
the same thing goes with Sam. I don't have enough meat on the bone. Yeah, it's a little odd, but also remember who was driving her to Dewey's. She could say,
she's
I want to
another.
go to Dewey. It was Richie that was driving because we saw them
Yeah,
get
but
out.
she said I knew where to get help. So she's leading the way.
Yeah, but she could say Dewey, and he knows where Dewey is now. I could say,
Mm-hmm.
I know where to get help, and I'm going to say, go to the police station. Does that mean I know where the police station is in your neck of the woods? No, you'd
Listen,
have to drive me.
all I'm saying is I'm on to her.
And I'm on to Tara. I'm watching her like a hawk. You know what happens? You know, one of these days, what? You know what would be funny? Just imagine if we could get both Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrero on here. We sit here and go back and forth and see what. Imagine they just started bickering like us.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'd be able to do that stream because I might just get too caught up in Melissa's face. I just might just do the whole stream just like,
I'll tell you, I'd be looking the same way at Jenna.
hey,
I might, hey, look,
hey.
I might be sus to Tara, but I ain't gonna lie, I'd be doing what you're doing, looking at Jenna. So, you know what?
Hell
Maybe
yeah,
we should. Yeah,
definitely.
let's switch trains. Yeah, I'm gonna put Tara on the train so I can keep looking at her. You can take Sam.
That's right. I want my Sam. I gotta have my Sam. I gotta have my Sam. Oh man. All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna close up this stream. We appreciate you all for joining us tonight and everything. Let me get my words together and stuff. First, I want to see this comment from Craven. Yet Fate's head will explode when Stu is unmasked in Scream 7. Cannot wait. I agree, Craven. I am with you all day. We're with you all day, buddy.
I just can't wait to see that ego come crashing down when Stu's revealed.
I know. I can't wait. It's so funny. I remember when they did the Lethal Collective live stream together, and Jake called it out. He was like, he's like, so Steven and Fate, you guys gonna get this debate on and whether Stu's alive or not? And Fate is just going off of all the reasons why, and Craven's just sitting there cool as a cucumber, just like this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then as soon as he got a chance, now let's
Another lag.
I love it.
I think it.
But
Definitely.
I'm just now finishing up editing my next video, and you guys have entertained me for the last couple hours while working on it. Love you guys. You're my fam. You know we love you too, Craven. Thank you for joining, buddy. You know it.
Thank you,
We
Craven.
definitely love having you in here, Craven, man. And definitely, you already know I'm waiting for that next video to drop, so I will be keeping my eyes peeled for that, buddy, for sure.
I'm keeping my eyes peeled for everything coming out from Craven. He's got some interesting stuff ahead.
Oh, Craven's definitely got some good stuff. You know what I mean? Like I say it time and time again, and I said it before, and I say it time and time again. One of the reasons what really made of is the way he is so detailed with his content. Like you can see the passion coming through in the videos, and how he's talking in the videos, and how he explains things. Like I really love that. So you know what I mean? Definitely will be looking forward to that next video, and of course all future videos that are going to be coming out.
Definitely. And I can't wait for that Lethal Collective tomorrow either.
Yeah, I got to tune in for that too. Got to send my Razor Ramon impersonation. I think I'm going to work on that after the stream. If not, I'll work on it like as soon as I wake up.
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Yeah, right. Thank you guys for streaming. It was great. I may not interact much, but that's because I'm more of a listener. Hey, Dino, no, you're good, buddy.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Hey, whatever. Hey, Whatever floats your
Hey,
boat,
hey,
man. Whether you want to talk a lot or in between, or if you just want to listen, hey, your support is greatly appreciated, man. We enjoy having you here. Honestly, we enjoy having
exactly.
you all here. All right,
No
gang, that
matter.
is it for this stream. We do appreciate you showing up. I'm gonna let Bob close it out here then, and then I'm gonna hit that cue. Go ahead, Baba.
I just want to thank you all for showing up, and remember to smash that like button with your little tentacles, and we will give you some free KY jelly for it.
That is right, gang. That is right. You heard it. And always remember, guys, always remember. I shot him 6 times.